Tara, Tara, look at her go with a fresh cup.
Oh my God, John! Stop! Oh my God.
What the fuck is that again?
He started singing, and I was like, no.
What is that shit again?
That's the Idina Menzel commercial.
Oh
Oh my God, dog. I hate that fucking commercial, bro.
Her big ass teeth.
Word, dog.
That's messed up.
Yeah,
Bro, I did not know who that woman was.
She's
And I was like, man, this woman got to have nothing going on to do this commercial. And then I looked her up and I was like, oh shit, man, what the fuck? Episode 18.
I'm gonna start talking right now. Welcome to the Planet Dot Podcast. You know what it is. We here. Podcast 18. Let's fucking get it. Yay.
Let's go.
We fucking out here. There's no rules. We 18 now. What's up, man? It's you, boy.
We're out here.
I was work.
You know what it is, man. I'm back at work, grinding, hustling every day, so I'm making sure we're gonna eat out here. But it's been like my work stories are gonna be more boring and more boring because like I'm doing the same thing now. You know what I mean? Like every day, come in crack of dawn, 5 a.m. and I just push products to the floor,
Manny,
so on and so forth.
Your work stories are the only reason I do this podcast.
Damn. Oh my God. Well,
I
stories are about to come to an end. You're gonna get the finale pretty soon.
Or you could just work for him.
I guess the most interesting thing about it is that for the first time in my life, like I'm waking up extra fucking early, and like my sleep pattern is actually kind of normalizing. So that's probably the best part. Yeah, that's probably the best part about working at that time. And then like once I leave, like bro, it's the whole fucking day is ahead of me, man. Like I don't know what this feeling is, dog.
Yeah, until 7 p.m.
Nah, I'd be going to sleep like 10 or 11, and then that was like when I first started doing it, and I got no sleep the night before, and I was like, nah, I'm knocking out like immediately. But yeah, that's basically what it is, guys.
Well, welcome to episode 18 of the Planet of Doubt podcast. We got Mises, we got Asia, we got CX Drive, Chris in the building, and your boy John Lewis. We 18 deep now, so it's different, man. What's good?
It's different, bro. We're legal.
Welcome, man. We are legal in the 18th episode. Thank you guys for joining us. Please, while you're here, subscribe, like the video. We're a little bit late on schedule, which means we got hella shit to talk about. So definitely fasten your seatbelts. You're here for a reside. There you go. I got the Tesla, so I'm going.
I'm so excited.
We're going.
The
Wu-Tang seats.
Or the El Toro on Six Flags when that shit just covered your seats.
Yo, fuck it. I mean, we're already here. Worst fucking roller coaster you fucking been on.
El Toro, easy.
Worst in terms of what? Like
just scariest or highest?
Scariest.
You said what? Which one's yours, Chris?
While y'all are thinking about it, let me just make this very easy. El Toro at Six Flags, because that shit, the thing that your safety belt or whatever they put on you is a little bar between your knees. And imagine me.
No, it's between your knees. Your big ass. It goes up to everybody else's chest.
True. That's true. For a regular sized person, it would probably go to their thighs.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Dog, when I tell you, my knees were like, I was covering my kneecaps. And then it had this little fucking Velcro belt, dog.
Oh my God.
Does it have twists and turns and spins?
Yeah, you've never been on El Toro?
I don't think so.
It's like the wooden ride, and it has like two big ass drops.
So it doesn't have loops.
Nah, people say that's scary. No.
You don't need to see
that ride is scary. Oh yeah, fuck out of here.
I mean, wooden roller coasters in general are kind of scary. Like they just, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Hella questionable.
I know people that have gone on King to Con and gone on all the rides, and they said that El Toro is the scariest out of all.
Really? Damn.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it because King to Con looks fucking terrifying, and I hate roller coasters. But El Toro was the scariest one I've ever been on.
Interesting. Well, I got into my roller coaster bag late into my life. Like I didn't start to get on roller coasters till I was like probably 19 or 20. So every time I did go to Six Flags when I was younger, I'd never been on any of those shits because I was definitely not doing it. But you could Dueling Dragons would probably be second place, but I think I would. There's one in Busch Gardens that is called like Cheetah.
Oh yes, Cheetah was lit.
It is lit, but this was the first roller coaster I've been on that it goes fast when you're going up.
Yeah.
And that's just the weirdest feeling because you always go up slow and then you drop fast. So this shit goes up fast. I'm like, what the
Comes
fuck is
in
going
hot,
on
dog.
in here, dog?
Comes in hot.
No, I was
why it's
not
called
ready
a
for that
cheetah.
shit.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that because going fast upward is a weird feeling because most roller coasters are slow up. So I think I'll go with cheetah, dog. That shit is nuts.
Dog. So the one I'm gonna pick is actually not a roller coaster, but it is a ride. Have y'all ever been? I don't know what they're actually called, but those like
Minnie
Yeah.
Mouse shit.
no, yeah, that's the
Thinking
scariest shit
about
I've
Minnie Mouse
done.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah,
do I
man.
have a story?
It's those rides that are like at carnivals and fairs where like they slingshot you like into the air.
Oh, hell
fuck
no.
no.
It's-
Man,
I will never get on
That's
I
that.
not a
did
ride.
that-
That's death.
Yo, I
Manny
did
will
that-
slip right out of
I
that
did
shit.
that shit once. Dog, I did that shit once, and it will be the last time I ever ride
Yeah,
that shit.
you're
That
crazy.
dog.
dog.
And it's funny because like I saw it, and like I remember I was with my sister, and I was like, man, this shit can't be that bad, fam. The
Yeah.
second I was just sitting before it even started, I was sitting there. I was like, nah, man, this actually might be pretty fucking wild. Like, oh my god, and that was probably the worst.
Wait. But what didn't you see that was that bad?
Dog, I don't know, man. Because in my head, I was like, it's not a roller coaster. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not doing all this.
Yeah.
Like, but fam, that was definitely like, that was the only time I can think of where I was on a ride and I was legitimately terrified. Like, I was just like, bro, this is
So
terrible.
wait, this one, yours was a slingshot.
Yeah, it's a slingshot. Like, it
So
just got-
like, you basically go up like fucking crazy speeds.
yeah, so like the ropes are like this, like holding you like down, or you're like held
They're
in place. It's
bungees.
yeah, it's
They're
like
bungees, and,
yeah.
and they just sling you up
And
in
they
the air.
sling you up in the air, yeah, like fast as shit,
Oh my god,
bro. And
hell
like,
no.
I can't even explain to you, bro. Like,
One of those strings fucking detaches.
man, yes, word, and it's a fucking
You're
fair.
out
Like,
there
I-
spinning the thing.
dog, I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like carnival rides. Period. Like, I think carnival rides. That's why I never go
Yeah,
there.
they're
Dog.
too
I never
risky.
go to fucking
Yeah.
carnivals. But like, dog, like I remember on my way up, just like completely losing sense of like what was up and what was down, dog. Because like at one point, I looked up and I saw the ground and I was like, dog, I don't know. Like it flipped so many times that I was like, dog, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh
I just
my
want to
God.
stand immediately. But that's definitely the worst one.
Yeah, I saw a prank video of that slingshot ride, and they would take like a big ass screw,
Oh
and before they slung the
God,
person up,
dog.
they would throw it against something, and it'll do like a clank sound,
And
the
they'd be like,
person
wait.
would- and then they just throw.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
never get on
man.
that. I'm not afraid of roller coasters or anything, but those things, I'm like, no, not even thinking about
Yeah,
it.
that's not even a ride. That's like a fucking half near a suicide mission. Like
you want to feel what it's like to commit
You
suicide?
want to live on the edge?
it's like a 50-50 chance, like
Oh,
for sure.
geez.
Nah,
Jesus, man.
But for me, like roller coasters, I'm chill with it. But at a carnival, have you ever seen like it's kind of like a roller coaster, but it's just one big ass like hoop.
Oh, the
I
zipper.
hate- I
No,
hate
no,
those
it's called
things, too. No.
I think
It's just a wheel, the ring of fire. or
Yeah,
some
the
shit
ring
like
of
that?
The Ring
Fire.
of Fire.
So it's just
That-
one
that
roller
son of a
coaster
bitch.
that goes in a loop.
No, it's just
right?
a circle.
Yeah. So whatever. I love that ride, right? And I go on it, and I think
You
I
got
went
stuck.
probably like 5 times, and then the 6th time it got stuck.
He got stuck,
Upside
dog.
down.
I could tell
Oh,
you.
No, bro.
I could tell you how many times
Yeah.
I've seen that shit get stuck. Oh my god!
I got stuck upside down for probably 20 minutes.
Oh, that
Oh,
sucks,
oh
dog.
hell no.
I was
Dog.
texting
I
my
was
boy
doing
while
the 50 Cent in the club video. bitch.
But the funny thing is, like,
Go,
I was probably
go.
like probably 11 or 12, and I was just laughing because I was like with my cousin, and there was 2 fine ass girls right in front of us. Because like it's the one
Your
where
time
you
to sauce them up.
the plot thickens.
the one where you're sitting, and then 2 people are sitting across from you. But that shit was scary too because we were upside down for 20 minutes.
Wait, so is it the ring of fire or the zipper that you're kind of like in a box? Is it the zipper that is like
The ring of fire is a circle.
Yeah.
And you just
No,
go
I know,
up
but I'm
and
saying
then-
like the seat wise.
Well, there's 2.
I think it's
there's-
just two
There's
like over
2
the top.
different ones. There's one that covers the top of the roller coaster part, and there's one that doesn't have a top.
Hmm.
The one I was on, it didn't have any top, so it was just the air up there.
Oh, fuck
But yeah,
that.
that shit was scary too.
I fucked up.
I'm about to have the worst answer here. I hate roller coasters. It's not for me. I do them because if everybody else gets on, I'm not gonna be a bitch about it. I gotta get on. But I don't want to say an entire roller coaster. I'm gonna say a moment, and it was on Jurassic Park when we were in California, and it was nothing about the ride was scary. except the drop at the end. And I don't know why. I think it was because of the seats. I guess those seats were like the loosest fitting of all the rides I've ever been on. And so when we first hit the drop, I felt like I was out of the
That's how I felt El Toro, dog. That's how I
Oh
felt.
my
El Toro.
god!
It wasn't
bro.
that big a drop because everyone says that drop
It was like
in
half.
Jurassic Park compared to the one here in Florida
Mhm.
is like nothing. So the drop wasn't crazy. I guess just that moment specifically.
Damn, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's not like
It's been haunting him ever
I'm sure
since.
if I do it
Yeah.
again, I mean that's the thing. That's why I said I'm gonna have the worst answer because I don't really. It's not like a good. I'm sure if I do it again, I won't care.
Do
But of
you
all the rides,
have you
that
been
was-
on the one here, Jurassic
No.
Park here?
Every time we go, it's for like Halloween Horror Nights, so they're all closed.
No, yeah, because me, Mushu, and I said we always tell that story, but I never heard that side because we always say how trash that drop is because it's literally half the drop size of the one here. So we were like, yeah, all right. Like, I
That
guess
drop
we're
compared
here.
to every other drop I've done was probably the worst one, but I haven't done.
You've
I
been
have
on
I've very few roller coasters.
which one is the one that we all did? Wait,
Everest.
were you in the Toy Story one?
No,
You didn't do the Slinky ride?
Nope.
That shit is lit.
I haven't been to.
What
Let
is that?
me
What is
tell
that?
you, the Slinky ride on Toy Story Land.
But
in
that's
Disney.
not that's in Disney in Cali
Yeah.
or here? In
No,
Cali?
here.
Is that
Fam,
the roller coaster?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. No, I don't think I did go on that because it looked hella small. So I was like, I
Oh,
don't know.
okay. That's exactly what we fucking thought. And then in line, we literally talked about like turning around like 3 times because it was so hot outside.
Oh my
And we're like,
God.
dog, this shit is gonna be for little kids. Like, we should just clear it. Nah, we're almost there. We do it. There's video of me and Eddie like what? Okay, this shit is a little bit serious, but like it was worth it, dog.
That's
It
funny
wasn't
as
no
hell,
little
damn.
kid shit, dog.
What's the best ride at Disney? What do you guys think?
At Disney.
Certain
Damn.
one.
It's-
I've done
go-
Everest.
my,
I'll go on Avatar.
I mean, are we talking like rides
yeah.
or roller
Well,
coasters?
Roller coaster, Space
Experience,
Mountain.
best experience.
Nah,
Hey,
I don't
best,
think it's
best
Space
experience. Best experience was Avatar, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, for
But-
sure. Yeah.
But my
I
favorite
think-
roller coaster was Space Mountain.
I think the Rock and Roller Coaster is my favorite one.
Yeah, that one was
that
really
one was
good
fucking
too.
awesome. I fucking even though Space Mountain, classic, but that one was really good.
Yeah, the Mount Everest one is cool too.
Oh, what am I saying? Yes, Everest. Everest
Yeah,
is
that-
the latest
that
one.
one's
Hell
in
yeah.
Animal
I'd
Kingdom.
rather Space Mountain for some reason.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
than
I
Everest.
don't remember the Everest one.
Everest
That's
is
fine.
like it's like the most like
It goes
Yeah.
backwards at some
Yeah.
point.
And it has
'Cause
the,
you like-
the
it's their most
Yeti.
intense.
I-
the most intense roller
I
coaster.
definitely rode it because when I went
Yeah.
2 years ago, I rode
There's like
everything.
there's like a Yeti there, and it's like supposed to be like in a snow mountain and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
In Disney, well, not Disney, in Islands of Universal, I think the better roller coaster. I don't know. I was about to say Dueling Dragons, but like Hulk is like so iconic. But the Mummy has to be probably one of the best experience. Like,
That's yes, I feel
those
you
two
100%. That's
Yeah.
for me in that park. That's top 3, dog. Like I fuck that Mummy ride, bro.
Yeah, because
That's Universal. That's
yeah,
Universal.
Yeah.
Because it's like a show and it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I've never been to Universal. I've only been to the
Really?
Disney parks. Yeah.
Oh no way! Damn, Chris, that's crazy.
Chris, you should definitely come because
all the
you
time-
heard
I'm
about the deal, right?
Yeah. Now that I'm talking about it, and now that I heard you guys talking about it, that could be lit. A day
Yeah,
at
Especially
Universal.
for your first time, dog. Like that'd be really cool. Hell yeah.
By the way, Manny, if we're gonna buy these tickets, we got to buy them like this week
Hey,
because it
hey,
ends this week.
Friday, let's do it. Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
down.
about it. Just
150.
text me to remind me because I'll definitely forget. But yeah, I'm about it.
And especially now that we're going to Orlando for the most part, 150 for the end of the year. So I heard that you could throw in Volcano Bay for $30, but I'm cool.
All right, I don't need Volcano Bay.
I'm cool off of that.
For whatever
So,
reason, I'm not big on like
water parks.
Yeah, water themed parks. Dog.
I
don't
love
know
water
what it is.
parks.
When we were kids, they were the
Yeah.
go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't need Chris in front or behind me in the tube.
In front or behind me.
Can I change my answer to that? Can I make that the scariest ride? Those two were scary as hell. I was always scared that I would get stuck in that thing.
I love the fucking tube rides.
If me, Jose, and Chris were in a tube, that shit is going
Rest
a
in peace.
billion miles.
We're going Mach speed
Are you talking about the one you're like on like a floater?
my
We're
thing?
talking about all of them.
The one you
We're
just
breaking all the records.
just
Jose.
slide. Because there's two.
Manny,
of them.
I say we'll have to sit on Manny's lap, and then we
Word,
can like.
yo, word.
Like this, man. We'll just
Yeah, we'll just go together. Oh, my
we'll be. Oh my god! I just pictured us like bobsledding, like format.
dog. Now, are you talking about? We got to go on one of the
The
ones
cool
where, like,
running squad.
Oh my god, what a classic!
We would be the
God.
illest cool running squad, bro.
Nah, we
Oh
got to
my
get all
God.
of us in like one of those, the ones that are like, you know what I'm talking about? That it's like a
The
like
circle one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
all
yeah.
sit on like a disc or whatever. You go down. That'd be lit. as fuck.
That would be the
that-
death of all of us.
Yeah, fuck that one, dog. I've been on that one with my cousin Oliver, and this man was tickling my feet as we're fucking dropping on that shit, and the fucking shit is tilted, dog.
Oh
I'm like,
my
whoa.
god, that's too funny.
I'm like, you're touching my feet, so we have to fade after this round, but stop touching.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to hold on for dear life.
Right. Those are the two worst
Oh,
things.
Lord.
God. So, speaking of holding on to dear life, there's two quick topics that we could touch on. One is confirmed, COVID confirmed, and the other one is a rumor. We'll start off with the rumor. Supposedly, Logan Paul is rumored to fight Floyd Mayweather. Welcome to today. This is obviously a rumor. It wasn't confirmed from anybody, but Keemstar, one of the YouTubers who like he's big on like gossip and drama and all
Yeah.
that bullshit. He said that he found out from an insider team or whatever. The only thing that we know that is true is that Logan is gearing up for a boxing match because he is training. But let's entertain it for 2 seconds. Why? Floyd Mayweather, dog? The dude fought Connor, and that was already like a joke to a lot of
Yeah,
people.
dog. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, like it's crazy because like he could have literally just kind of retired and like his legacy would have been set. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say best defensive fighter ever. So for you to come back, like to do something like this, I'm like, what are you exactly trying to prove, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing if like maybe like Triple C was trying to go into boxing, I believe, and then like if he fought him in his first fight, like that would be
Right.
fucking crazy, you know. But I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy to me.
I'm gonna stick by saying that Floyd is in it for the money, just because and it makes
Yeah,
no
well,
sense
that's
why he's
what-
in it. But I feel like he's just so bad with his money and his gambling that for some reason
Crazy.
he may
man.
look like he's set on the outside, but maybe something on the inside. I think it's something that like he just like wasted so much that he needs another big payday.
Bro, but what's crazy is that like the amount of money Floyd Mayweather has made, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it makes no sense why he
makes
would
no
need the money,
sense.
but
Dog.
I don't think he
I
needs
can't
the
see
money.
any other reason.
I don't
why he
think he
would
needs
do
the
it.
money. I think he just know because the guy's a businessman. He sees a good opportunity to make money. He's gonna take it.
Especially
But-
somebody who only has like a 3 record fight record.
Exactly,
So-
and then fucking didn't even win. If he can't beat, no, listen, that's not even a conversation to have because Logan Paul is not gonna beat Floyd. Just
That was
get that
my
out of
other
hand.
question though. Can people fight without being in the same weight class, like professionally?
No, well, no.
I think for what they're trying to
How
do
the
is
fuck
it
are
doesn't
they-
matter.
Yeah, because they're not.
Well, I'm
like,
trying to
part of the
see because
WBC, yeah.
Logan Paul weighs 200 something, like 5 pounds, something like that.
He wasn't the same.
Mayweather
weight
fights
as-
at like 160, like 154 around there. Who's gonna go up and who's gonna go down, or are they gonna meet in the middle? Because that's some crazy fucking weight you gotta
No,
gain,
yeah,
or you gotta lose.
I think Logan's when he was wrestling professionally, he was like 180, 175, leanest. So he would definitely have to. He would like pass out just trying to lose the weight, but
And I don't think when he was fighting KSI, I don't think they were the same weight. Not even close. Like Logan.
No, I
was
think
way
they
bigger.
were close in weight.
I think I
It was
saw
closer
it
than
was-
Floyd and Logan.
Well, that.
right.
But
Because then you got Jake Paul and Nate Robinson, and I was on Nate Robinson's. I mean, Nate Robinson's always been fucking ripped and swole, but for some reason he looks taller, ripped, and swole now. Like I don't know if that's just because.
Probably
People
more
think
than
he's
He's
taller.
not next to all the NBA players.
All right.
it's the camera angles.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like I'm a Logan fan, so I'm definitely like gonna watch whatever he does. I think he's really entertaining. And for him, this shit would look fucking nuts. Like to
Yeah.
fight the legend in like boxing.
That's why
But,
I kind of it's hard for me to believe that rumor though, because you're talking about someone that came out of fighting. What his last fight was fighting McGregor, right? Was
Yeah, Connor.
And he
yeah.
made over more than 100 million on that.
He made a shitload of
Yeah,
money.
so technically, if let's say if this fight were to happen, Logan is not worth 100 million fighting.
No, he's not getting that. He's not getting that.
So I don't understand that point.
Yeah, they could probably make like a cool 20.
Maybe.
If I was Mayweather, dog, I wouldn't even entertain this fight because, like,
well, stylistically, what is he gonna do? Like Logan's gonna punch down and Mayweather's gonna punch up.
Whoever goes up in weight, whoever loses weight, Floyd is winning. Like Floyd is winning 100%. Floyd doesn't have to gain a pound. Logan Paul doesn't have to lose a pound. Floyd will still win that fight.
How tall is Floyd Mayweather?
Floyd is like 5'6", and Logan is like 6'3". Yeah. Still, this man's defense is he's untouchable. The reason I won't want Floyd to do this because
hit him on the top of that.
I don't. Floyd is not my GOAT, but he is technically the greatest boxer to ever live.
Defensive.
I'm not. Listen, he's not my GOAT, but in terms and record wise, he is the GOAT. There's no debating that. This will look so. Listen, Manny, I agree with you 100%. I hate watching Mayweather fight. Yes. I think his fights are boring, and I don't respect the way he fights. So, I don't think Floyd should take this fight because it would just look so fucking whack on his career. Like he's retired like 8 times already. He's gonna come out of retirement to fight a YouTuber boxer who can't even beat a bum from the UK. Like,
and not only that, Chris, but like if he really needs the payday, there are bigger paydays out there for Floyd Mayweather.
1,000%.
Like there are a
fight
million.
Canelo again.
Fight Canelo. Are you kidding?
No, yeah, it's okay.
He knows he's smarter than that.
He wants to keep his record.
He's smarter than that. That's why. But he want to fucking bag fight Canelo, but he's smarter than that.
And then that would be probably his that would most likely be like his highest payday ever, dog. If he fought Canelo now, like, dog, come on, man. That's the fight of the fucking century, dog.
I was even thinking maybe Pacquiao too.
Nah, that
I'm cool off of that.
Even when they fought the first time.
Listen. I'm not so upset at that matchup anymore because Manny Pacquiao has done a fucking 180 on his career for the past 4 or 5 years. This guy has looked the best I've seen him in so long. So I wouldn't mind to see that fight. The last one was whack as fuck. We can all agree that last fight was terrible. But Manny Pacquiao now looks better shape than I have seen him in so long. So I don't think that fight would be as whack as the first one. It's impossible to be as whack as the first one.
I don't think it's whack. Just how many times have they fought already? Definitely twice.
Just once.
Really?
Yeah, just the one time.
Oh, okay.
After Floyd was ducking him for a couple of years.
For a long fucking time. for the entirety of his prime.
That man is scared.
Dog. Terrified, man.
Well, another 2 boxers that are legends and coming out of retirement is Mike Tyson and Roy Jones.
Tyson and foe.
Roy Jones and also Evander Holyfield.
Okay, yeah, Chris, can you clarify that? Because I thought that Mike Tyson was fighting somebody else, and now it's somebody else.
So Mike Tyson was supposed to fight Roy Jones Jr.
I didn't know that changed.
But I think that fell through.
Really?
And now, like when that news came out where he was going to fight Roy Jones Jr., it also came out that Evander Holyfield is actually coming out of retirement also to fight. So now there's a whole bunch of speculation that they may do Tyson and Evander Holyfield again, which would be fucking crazy. I mean, they're old as shit, but actually no. Tyson looks in much better shape than Evander Holyfield does now.
Yeah,
but still, it'll be 2 viejos freaking punching each other.
Well,
it wouldn't be
what's that movie? Was it with De Niro and somebody else?
And
with
Stallone, right? Stallone.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was Stallone. Yeah,
that's what that fight is gonna be.
Tyson is in way better shape than De Niro was in
So if you go on Legends Only League, which is I think Mike Tyson's league, I think he's doing like a whole thing. It says Tyson versus Jones November 28th, but he wasn't the original fighter, was he? Right?
Yeah, no, he was.
So
Roy
who
Jones
was
Jr. versus Tyson.
So you said Holyfield was the,
but there was somebody else.
No, Holyfield said he came out of retirement. Yeah, was that it?
He was fighting somebody else.
That was the first fight. Yeah, no, that was the first fight that Tyson was supposed to do. Tyson versus Logan Paul's
Jake.
coach, whatever. No, coach. What? Let's go, champ. Whatever the fuck his name is.
No, yeah,
They were supposed to fight bare knuckle. Does anyone remember that?
I do
You
not
guys
remember
remember
that. That's crazy
Yeah.
shit.
They were supposed to. They signed something to fight bare knuckle. I don't think they signed it. I think it was a
In
free
the
report.
ring?
I don't, not the street, Jose.
I don't know.
Bare knuckle fighting.
I don't remember seeing that in the.
But then
Boxing
that
ring.
changed, so it's Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. But I thought that fell through. So if you're
But
saying that
we
November
have to
28th
figure out who else he was gonna fight
I
because that's
saw-
bothering me.
I saw
No,
some
it's Roy
news
Jones Jr.
that
It
I
was the
saw
whole
some
time.
news that they were saying that Roy Jones Jr. might not fight, that he might pull out, and then I saw that the guy who was originally supposed to fight in bare knuckle, I can't remember his name, the same guy you were talking about who was gonna fight,
Let's go, champ.
was willing to take the fight. He said he's ready to go. He's not gonna back down
So-
from a fight.
So I guess Roy Jones, if he is the guy who he was gonna fight originally.
Yeah, he is.
No, you see, okay. So you said Holyfield came second or first?
He was never scheduled to fight Evander Holyfield. I'm
Really?
just saying that around the same time, Evander also said that he's going to come out of retirement to fight. The whole time it was supposed to be Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. And I believe that's still on after you just read that report.
Yeah, because for some reason I've been going to Holyfield's IG page that he's been training, so I
Mhm.
thought he was gonna be the matchup. So okay, cool. So let's go to Roy Jones. So I don't have the exact quote, but I guess somebody brought it up right now. He was basically telling the people like, "Yo, I've been watching Tyson's training videos, and I'm scared myself." So I think he might be backing out low key, but like you said, it might still be going on because it's still up on the IG page as November 28th. But whoever,
Wouldn't shock me.
right? Like either way, Mike Tyson's gonna be fighting somebody, and RIP in peace to whoever that is.
I have this conversation often with my dad while we're watching boxing. I'm like, yo, like, how was it seeing Tyson fight back in the day? And my dad watched Tyson through his whole career. Is like, that is the scariest man I've ever seen. And I was like, I've seen Tyson on Instagram. He can take at least 75% of the heavyweight division now, because a lot of them are fucking bums, and Tyson is just a different animal. He's just a different beast. So I was like, yo, he could really just take another one of these people in the division and fight if anyone backs out. I believe that Tyson could beat them. Other than like the
we
like
want to
Tyson
see Tyson
Furies.
versus Tyson. Tyson on Tyson.
No.
Tyson on Tyson.
He's not
Oh
ready
my
for that.
God.
He's not ready for that.
Word, he's not ready for Mike Tyson.
I heard for this fight, there's no knockouts.
That's what I heard as well, but then I heard it was a rumor, so I haven't.
I mean, you can't stop a
I
knockout.
That's
haven't.
what they were
so-
saying.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
No,
Like,
they were saying there's a no knockout rule. That's for
Well,
their
I don't. I mean, I saw like if you get knocked down or if you get like cut or something, then they'll stop the fight. But I think it's impossible to like say
Like,
no
you can't
knockout.
That's so
Stop a knockout.
stupid.
A knockdown,
One fight.
yeah. But a knockout,
Yeah.
well, a knockdown. I
could
mean,
you imagine getting disqualified for knocking somebody out? Like,
It's
Sir,
interesting.
excessive.
that's it. You lost.
Yeah, it's interesting to like because we've been seeing Mike Tyson on the scene for the last 2 years. Like he's been doing podcasts, he's been like chilling, and every time people ask him like, "Yo, like, how was it when you were fighting?" He always says that he never wants to go to that place mentally because it takes over him. He has no control of that person. That person's dangerous. So it's crazy to hear that like a year ago to now. Here we are again, like fight mode. And I remember he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking like what made you take this fight or whatever. And I think aside from charity, because I think it is a charity fight, he was saying like he just started working now because like his clothes started to not fit him, so he started to feel like too big. So his wife was like, well, why don't you just go on the treadmill like 15 minutes a day? And then he said that 15 minutes a day turned into 2 hours a day. And then eventually, literally from like April to August, this man got extra fit. Like that's not a long time, dog.
Yeah,
especially at his age, and especially to be at like he doesn't look good for his age. He looks good. Like that's even the weirder part. Like this man looks like he's back in the day. Mike Tyson.
Those boxing training and those regimens
I can imagine.
Fucking crazy. Like I think we've all attempted a boxing class or something like that. Boy, you're out of breath in fucking 2 minutes. That shit is so tough. So
it is tough.
It's not surprising that he got fit so quick because that shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. Because he said like the video that went viral a year ago where he's like behind a counter and he's like showing somebody like a quick
in the white polo.
Yeah. He said that after that video, he was in bed for like a week because everything was sore and like he like pulled something in his like waist or some shit. So after that, he was like, "Nah, I gotta get on my shit again or whatever." But how crazy is it that even the opponents, you signed up and now you're talking about you scared? You fucked up.
You should have been scared since day one, dog.
Right. Yeah, word, bro. You should have signed up. That's crazy.
But no knockout rule. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. No, you're gonna punch him and then that was too hard.
Right.
Let me hold it back.
I don't know.
He's inspiring a whole class of old men boxers because after that shit, after the Tyson and Jones, after Evander Holyfield come out, then a whole bunch of fucking bullshit talks between Conor McGregor and Oscar De La Hoya pop off on.
I did hear about Oscar fighting.
Dog, this man Tyson's gonna inspire all these viejos to come back and attempt to make a comeback or one last fight or some shit like that.
Well, I didn't know about boxing, but he definitely is inspiring a whole bunch of viejos because, like you just said, like I said earlier, he created the Legends League, which is going to consist of all sports. So, like, kind of like what Ice Cube did with like the big three, he's going to do it for most sports, which I think is interesting. I think there's a viewership for that for sure.
Yeah, like, I'll be watching for sure.
Depending on how big the players are and stuff.
I just hope they stay safe, man. At their age, they can't be. They punching from Tyson at that age, dog.
Well, he's that age.
No. You getting hit by. Well, I don't know how old Roy Jones Jr. is. I'm thinking he's younger than him, but still, at that age, you don't recover like you do when you're 20 or 30. Bro. So,
right.
Hopefully they stay safe. But I'm excited to watch.
Facts.
Well, speaking of recovering, your girl Ellen DeGeneres is back out here in the streets.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Girl. Jose's girl.
I just found out myself. Honestly, I found out today, but I did not know because we had this conversation a while back that we were thinking that what's his name was going to take over.
James Corden.
Yeah, James Corden was going to take over, and I guess it's been on the hush low key because we haven't really heard anything about it since we talked. But yeah, man, she basically is back for season 18 of the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Damn.
Yeah, she's gonna do it. I don't feel close to this, so I'm not gonna speak emotionally on it. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't buy the plea. Like I didn't. Her monologue was like very generic and too broad. Like you know,
did a show already.
Yeah, I guess it came out this week because I saw the monologue today.
Interesting.
So the show has obviously a virtual audience. It has like big ass flat screens TV all over the audience floor. So like everybody's like Zoom faced up. Twitch is there as the co-host still. So yeah, she had like an 8 to 10 minute monologue in the beginning of the show addressing like the shit, but she didn't really. This is most of what she said. She was talking about like look, sometimes I have bad days, sometimes I'm impatient. No. That doesn't match the allegations that were going on.
That you were a fucking nightmare to be around, bro. Like it's not the same thing.
And she's like, I'm a work in progress. Like, fam, you've been in the industry for too long. Your progress has already worked. Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know if I buy that's the thing. Like, I don't also expect her to sit in her show and say, yeah, I did this and I'm sorry for this. So I guess, it's not I don't know if that's an appropriate time to say it or not, but I definitely think that there should have been an interview or a place where she could have got that off before she went on the show to address it specifically and then got on the show and then done her thing. Because if they just let her get away, I don't want to say let her get away, but if she just approaches it, if they're going to let her approach it this way, then all that rah shit that happened was basically pointless.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it will be pointless.
It looks like it was.
I honestly believe that she took the best approach, where she just waited it out and she did it on the show where she's most comfortable. Listen, in a week she's gonna give away a couple cars, give a kid some scholarship money, and now one person's gonna give a fuck about what happened this summer or during quarantine. All that bochincha is gonna be for nothing.
But that kind of bothers me though, dog, because like, yeah, and you're right, Chris. That's most likely what's gonna happen. But it's like, bro, you know, she's one of those people that like a lot of people just kind of look at as like, you know, role model, like really good person, yada yada. And then just to know she's like that, like backstage, and then to know that people have proof of it, but are still probably gonna think of her as this, like, is
Right.
crazy to me.
Yeah, they said that there was 6 months of legal talk with the lawyers and one-on-one touch bases with a lot of the staff. Apparently, there's like 270 staff members that joined in to be part of the show, but then she was saying like, you know, there was things going on that I wasn't aware of, and I apologize for that. Like, I don't know how to take this because again, I'm not emotionally involved to it, so whatever. But the way that she's talking about it is like, a lot of this shit isn't even on me. I guess I'm sorry. And a lot of the shit is on me. I'm sorry. Well, I don't know if like any other person that was to get canceled or has gotten canceled approached it this way, people would kill him.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to, John. Like that's crazy that she's gonna just kind of walk on that.
The reason why she's saying like that because 3 of the top execs of the Ellen show either got fired or something happened because they had their own allegations of sexual assault with one of the members of the Ellen show. So she's probably speaking on that, like, oh, she didn't know that was going on, and then she was talking about her case of people of her coworkers being mad at her of like the way she was treating them, and then she probably thought she was acting normal on that.
Right.
But
I mean,
it is kind of weird. When I watched that same monologue thing, and I kind of felt it was a kind of weird feeling, like seeing her because she was like cracking jokes at the same time.
Oh
she
yeah,
was doing
dude.
that, and I'm
corny
like,
shit.
it's not the time for that. Like, I know
right. And that's what I mean, Jose. Like, maybe her platform in that show doesn't allow her to get her shit off that she's supposed to, but then do it before you get on so we can like. And I hate saying like so we can blah blah blah, but if we're gonna do it, if we're gonna cancel people and you know that rightfully need to be canceled, like let's hear them out if they're gonna speak, but don't come back with like a generic statement like, yeah, my bad for this, because like I said, nobody else has gotten the opportunity to just be like, yo, my bad. But season 18 though, we lit. Like no, like.
And she got called out for like because obviously she's very wealthy and rich, and like when she was in quarantine she was like on like making videos like, oh, she's so bored and stuff like that, and people were like, yo, you're like this millionaire and you're like, she was like making fun of the situation and stuff, and like people were egging her on that, and she kind of like apologized for that too, like she's like, oh, I didn't really know what I had and stuff like that. But
that's just petty shit though from people. Because she's a millionaire, she can't get bored.
Well, no, I mean, it was just the way she was treating it, like online and making videos of.
Yeah, but people also, I'm sure they're reaching for that. I also feel like, well, I can't. Nothing's 100% confirmed. These are all allegations, but I feel like most of the Ellen cast kind of. A couple of people called her out, and then I think a couple of people got their chance to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I could get a piece of this, or maybe I could egg it on and talk a little bit more and see what we can do. I'm sure she was mean, but then there are people that are a little soft also that may take it a little harder than it is, and may have seen a payday in this and just boosted it up to a whole different level. So I'm sure Ellen did most of the stuff she was talking about. Was it at a certain level that these people are saying? Hopefully not, but I don't believe so. But
I guess it's better to say we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know exactly. We don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of it was just boosted up just so they can potentially get something or a payment or something like that.
That's true.
It's interesting because let's say that was the like what. This is gonna be weird. We can't.
Oh, we're canceled.
I'm trying to see because again, the allegations aren't clear. Like we just know that she was acting like OD with like the disrespecting and like a hostile work environment, but we don't know how deep that goes, right? So like I'm trying to use an example, but there isn't really one that we can work with. But whatever. I guess if the air is on, if they're back on air, I'm assuming they worked something out. There's a settlement across the team and the staff.
So the whole new staff, 100%. They definitely wiped all of them out.
But you see, then I feel like we would have seen people like getting off on Twitter or some shit like, "Oh, I got fired because I got fired," unless they got paid off to be on the hush hush, because that's also a possibility. But yeah, I guess hopefully whatever staff they have now, everybody, it is a better work environment because we're not gonna really know, but we do know it's Hollywood, and we know Hollywood is fucking nuts. For you guys who don't know, it's disgusting. It's one of the worst businesses. Morality is out the window 100%, no matter what type of entertainment industry you're in. You just got to be strong-minded and have hella thick skin to get into that industry.
Should we talk about a little bit of basketball?
A little bit of basketball.
A little bit of basketball.
I mean, there's been a lot of basketball.
Yeah. Yep. Damn. Today's game was fucking crazy, though. So that you guys don't know, the Lakers played Denver today. Fucking crazy. Jamal Murray out here taking the fucking Lakers ankle. Dog, this man turned into Michael Jordan in the bubble. Where did all of this shit come from? Manny, I'm sorry. You guys are still gonna win the series. Relax.
Oh my god, bro.
They're still gonna win the series, but I was telling Manny, like, if you cut the lead down to 3, dog, that should have been your game. Like, well, that was 3 with like how many minutes?
Those are the worst games. Those are the worst games to lose. Like the games that like are winnable within reach, because it's like, bro, like you just had to close the deal. And like, I don't know if I told you this like earlier when we were recording, but before we were recording, but like, dog, it's just inexcusable, bro, for like 3 of our best rebounders to have 4 combined rebounds, dog. Like, how is that, fam? I couldn't believe that. I was like, AD had 2 rebounds. Are you kidding me? Who on that other team is jumping higher than AD?
Yeah, so
like,
who was getting rebounds?
Fam, apparently the Nuggets, because they got like 20 more than we did. So apparently the Nuggets.
20 more rebounds, and you guys were turning the ball over crazy.
Fam.
What else?
The Lakers looked absolutely gassed. Yeah. The boys were struggling. Kyle Kuzma is on the floor.
To their defense, they kept coming back from 20-point leads, so I'd be gassed myself.
Yeah.
But
Rondo at the end, that boy was stealing everything.
Fam, he was the one that got it like within 3, dog, was Rondo. And then
LeBron scored like 6 points in like 30 seconds type shit.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't know if y'all saw that one play where like it was off a beautiful fast break, dog, and like I think it was Rondo passed to AD,
and right to his hands.
AD to Kuz, and then Kuz passed it back, and I was like, Kuz, what the fuck are you doing? That was you, fam.
That's Kuzma, dog. Kuzma fucking freezes. He made some terrible plays down the line. Also,
he's made some good ones. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
you're wearing a Kyle Kuzma jersey.
Yes, of course. I'll fuck with Kyle Kuzma.
They sell those.
Of course, man.
I didn't know you had one.
Oh my god.
Kyle Kuzma. Nah, he has his moments, dog. Like, he's like, if you look at like a lot of our box scores, bro, like he has like his steals, blocks, assists. Like he does his thing, man. He's a good plus minus guy too. But anyways, in this game, like there was this one moment where like he got the ball wide open at the 3, went for the pump fake, got the pump fake, and then like went for it again, and then didn't shoot it, and then shot it. And I'm like, fam. If you don't have the confidence to shoot it after the pump fake, don't shoot it, dog. Pass the ball. There's no point. Like you gotta shoot that shit like you know what's going in, dog. Like there's if you don't have that, like you shouldn't even be taking the shot.
I mean, LeBron also had like a very slow start to the game because he basically got most of his points third quarter forward. Yeah. But that's all that matters. As long as you figure out how to turn it on within some time in the game, you're straight. Yeah. But I did not know the rebound stats until you told me that, which is fucking nuts.
And it's not nuts, bro. It's inexcusable, dog. Like, it's inexcusable. Like, fam, we're one of the best rebounding teams in the league. We have hella bigs around. How are we not getting these rebounds?
I think AD got his second rebound in what, the fourth
in the fourth quarter. Yes, he was
first in the fourth quarter. I think.
Oh, did he really? He had both his rebounds in the fourth. So he went most of the game with no rebounds. That's crazy as hell, man. Crazy as hell.
Well, on the good news, LeBron won the Oscar today because of that.
Nah, he got contact on that. It wasn't
he got
to knock him down, but he did get hit.
Even all the announcers were like, "We're laughing" because they know it was
yeah, they were laughing, but even afterwards they said, "Oh no, he did get hit."
What quarter?
I'm sure he did get hit, but like
no, he definitely sold it. Don't get me wrong. Like it was.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but if you're going like there was the announcers were saying, they have to be consistent. If it's over the shoulder foul, it's a flagrant one.
I get that sense, but like that shit was.
Yeah,
and also we're underestimating what an elbow to the face potentially feels like. By the way,
no, it's not that. I know he did get hit. You could see the contact there, but just the way he like played it off, it was pretty.
If we're talking about Oscars, Marcus Smart wins the Oscar for biggest flopper, but LeBron is definitely best supporting.
No.
Well, the Boston squad needs to get the Oscar for best supporting cast.
I'm not gonna let you put LeBron above Kyle Lowry,
Patrick Beverly,
Joel Embiid,
Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's a big one too. Yeah,
Chris Paul's running up.
Those dudes.
Chris Paul. I mean,
running away with it.
LeBron James is just the best player to flop. That's really what it is. So you see him more.
That's true. I'm not gonna debate you on that.
He's the best player to flop.
And the thing with LeBron is he's so damn big. If he doesn't sell a call, he won't get it.
That's true.
Because if you think about it, this dude's getting hit, and if he really wanted to, he'll brush off 95% of the hits.
Yeah, and that's a lot of big guys though. That's why like with him, like I like he does flop, but I let him get the pass, dog, because I'm like, fam, you have to sell it. Like they won't call shit.
It's
on
part
you.
of the game now.
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
No, everyone sells it.
Yeah,
it's part of the game. But before
when you make it too obvious, it's just that. I don't know.
It's just
it's more obvious on the replay.
Yeah, and it's more obvious because he's so big. You know what I mean? He's probably like flopping the same way other guys are, but it's just he's so big that it's like, fam, we don't believe that affected you like that.
Who's that guy from the Celtics?
Marcus Smart.
Oh my god.
No, that boy be slipping and sliding.
We need Jose to learn basketball.
I don't know.
This man doesn't know anybody. This man goes, the guy with the yellow shoes.
Yeah.
Who's the one that got the timeout?
I don't know nobody's name.
Well, before we go to the Boston side, we got to give credit to Jokic though. Jokic is like he's figuring it out against the Lakers, which is
to be honest,
crazy.
bro. Like you're right, give credit to Jokic, but I knew Jokic was good. Jamal Murray, I didn't know if he could be this good late in the fucking.
I mean, if you watch that first series against the Jazz, he was him and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, they were going
50.
Yeah, no, he can play.
The bubble's crazy.
Yeah, he can fucking play, dog. Jamal Mitchell, Jamal Murray, sorry.
Jamal Mitchell.
Yo, perfect player. The combination.
Donovan Murray.
The fusion.
Dog. But yeah, Jamal Murray, dog, like he, as much as I hate to say it, he fucking earned my respect this series, dog. I was like, nah, this kid can play, man. I can't deny him.
No, he has a dagger shot, dog. That shit be wet.
And he yammed that shit down in the fourth.
Yeah, and that fam, dog, again, you can ask anybody that watched the game with me. When he hit that shot in the fourth quarter, I literally out loud, I was like, nah, that's game. Like after that shot, I was like, that was the dagger. They're not coming back from that, bro.
You said Paul George? You said
I said I hit the ball game shot for Jamal Murray.
If you guys want to talk about something before we go to the East, we should talk about Paul George. Did you guys hear that speech?
George Paul.
This man gave a speech to the Clippers, I guess after they lost. And they said that there was Clippers players that were like rolling their eyes and didn't even really care about what he was saying.
They were dismissing it completely, dog. Yeah. But fam, if you played like that and then tried to give me a rah-rah speech, are you kidding me, bitch? Like you're the main reason right here. Dog, get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm sure we all know, but we just gotta say it. Apparently, like some of the players from the Clippers feel like they're as good or better than Paul George.
Yes.
So, like, to your thing, like, for you to be like,
let's relax.
I'd rather definitely pass the ball to Lou Williams than to Paul George.
In the playoffs, Paul George did not show up. But in the regular season, these players are not better than Paul George. It is Kawhi. Of course it does, because you got to get to the playoffs, first of all.
But, Chris, to defend your point.
7, so.
Yeah, but to defend your point, Chris, like, a lot of the other guys that didn't show up in the playoffs either. Like Trez, like didn't really have a good playoffs. Lou Williams only had like 1 or 2 good games. Like he didn't really have games like that, dog.
On the Clippers, it's Kawhi then Paul George. Is there any other debate? Can someone else? I mean,
statistically, yeah.
I do
Montrezl Harrell is great,
but I do think it's closer between Paul George and the other guys than it is between Kawhi and Paul George.
Oh, for sure. No,
like
for sure.
I would say that.
But these people saying that they're listen. Paul George has been great for most of his career.
I've been yelling at Manny. Paul George overrated for the last 4 years. Every time we go to Manny's house, I'm like, overrated. Yeah. Every time.
I'll say he's good. I wouldn't put him great though.
I would say he's great. He definitely didn't show up. He definitely didn't show up for this series, but I think he's a great player.
In the playoffs, there's no way you're gonna talk to me after you play like that, especially after you're supposed to be regarded as one of the best players, and you're supposed to be the guy to help.
And after that fat trade, fam, that dog. After giving away your future for Paul George, dog.
And then you come and you play like that. Don't talk to me.
So after saying you're trying to win this year, my fault, John.
Oh yeah, so let's do a little deeper dive, like of some of the other things that are coming out from the Clippers standpoint, right? So we're hearing like, well, chemistry. This is our first year, so blah blah blah. Not really. Like a lot of teams, this is their first time also on the court together. I believe AD,
JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis, Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Markieff Morris. Right. These are all guys that are a regular part of the Lakers lineup. That is their first time playing together.
And a lot came like mid-season type shit.
Yes, dog. And Rondo. No, Rondo was here last year, but still, bro.
And other teams had.
Like, come on, that's not an excuse.
Other teams had the same situation. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Fam, and we're missing a starter.
Right. Also, there were talks of so like they were acting too cocky to then have this performance, like the load management situation, the Paul George and Kawhi not showing up to practices. Like it was too much of a diva.
The dying laughing at Damian Lillard missing a free throw. The Patrick Beverly telling Steph Curry mid-game, "Hey, yo, y'all had the last 5 years. We got the next 5." Like, fam, it was a lot. It was a lot of shit. Right. Like yelling at the fans, "Hey, where y'all going? Where y'all going?" Like they were a cocky fucking team this year, bro, for no fucking reason. Yo.
Right. So how do you? So the first thought is like, oh, well, they just go to another team because Paul George and Kawhi doesn't have to be there because of their contract. But where else do they go? Like, if Kawhi goes to another team, he looks bad because he's just going to keep jumping from team to team to team to team.
I think his contract is for next year, and then the third year is an option. So on the third year, he can leave.
Wait, no, yeah, you're right. It's two on an option. Yeah, 2 on an option.
And I think both? I think Paul George maybe 3. Or he might be 2.
They have the same. They have the same.
Why is everyone so quick to break this team up?
I mean,
listen. 100%. This was a failed year. They were at least supposed to get to the Western Conference Finals 100%, and they did not.
But failed year because of themselves, though, not because of like.
Yeah, of course. Well, they can't.
Not because of the talent.
Else. No, yeah, exactly. They can't put it on anyone else. They just didn't show up.
I think because. I mean, you got to consider breaking them up because you have nothing left to like you have no future in the Clippers. Like, you gave away all your picks. You have really no one's there for a long time. Kawhi got 2 years. Paul George is 1 year now. And so, like, if you don't trade these players when they have some value and you just let them get to the end of their contract, they could just walk and you could get nothing. Well, and you're stuck with.
Do you go that way, Asia, or do you buckle down and just restructure everybody's role in this team?
Yeah, like and not only that, but like they like what they're really, because the thing is, like, they tried to like bring in Kawhi and then put some good pieces around him, but like Kawhi isn't like a LeBron that can coordinate a fucking offense. You know what I mean? Like he's not like that. So he needs somebody that's like that. He needs like a good point guard that can actually dictate the offense. Not like fucking Pat Beverly. I've been screaming he's over like John, but with Patrick Beverly, I've been screaming he's overrated for the last I don't even know how long. But they need somebody who can really just run that offense, man, and make it all work and bring it all together. But the thing is, what's their cap even looking like though? Because I don't even think they have cap space like that.
I mean, Steve Ballmer's gonna slide some of his own money
He's gonna have to.
Your contract is gonna say $20, but I'm gonna slide you.
He got that. They just don't have any
million.
picks.
Yeah.
I don't think that they need to trade or whatever. I just think that they need to buckle down, and first two people to get talked to, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Y'all gotta show up to fucking practice. Load manage. Y'all ain't playing 40-something games this year. Y'all playing 70-something to 80-something. So like, it's just because that's the only way you build chemistry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only do you do it on the court, but you have to do it on the practice field, on the court, and like, so, yeah, in theory, if they weren't such divas, it'd be like, yeah, first year together, yeah, it is what it is. But because they came with all the bullshit they came with and acted the way they acted to then lose in this manner, now you're like, it's like somebody who talks shit, but they're good. You'd be like, oh, but they're good. Like, but now you can't talk shit and then lose. Now you're just like stuck in some other loophole right there.
Facts.
I just think they need to hold on. Just give it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
another
that's
season.
I think that's probably the only option that they have really is because they can't really do anything else. But I may understand why people are saying maybe consider moving some shit around because
I heard
there's
a rumor,
no future.
I heard a rumor that apparently they might, and I don't even know how they would make the money work, but they're
yeah.
looking to trade for Joel Embiid. Which
I didn't see that. I saw that they were going to trade for Giannis.
Yeah,
Did anyone else see that?
But I didn't believe that. But I did see that. Yeah.
How the fuck you would have to trade the owner's house?
That's a fat trade, dog.
The Clippers don't have players to make that work. They already gave everything up for Paul George. Like, what are you're gonna trade all the key pieces of your Clippers
trade some players and some cash.
Like who? Who you gonna trade for?
I'm not the owner. I'm not the owner. Well, I'm pretty sure Marcus Morris is on a one. I don't know if he's on a 1 year trade.
No, he's done.
Yeah, he's a free agent. Right? He's a free agent. Yeah.
And Montrez too.
And Trez. Isn't Lou Will a free agent too?
I don't know. I don't think he'll leave. I don't think Lou will risk his 6 Man of the Year award to go play somewhere else and be a starter.
Yeah, I don't think they have the pieces to get Giannis, but I'm just saying that's the report I heard. But it would have to be for a couple players and a lot of cash.
But
I don't think they got to do all that. I think they just got to play as a team for more than 1 year and practice together.
But the thing is, dog, like they have to make at least one move. They at least have to acquire somebody because like what killed them against the Nuggets was the size, and that's gonna kill you in the Western Conference period, dog. Because there's so many lit bigs in the West, bro, that you need like somebody who can beat down. And they tried to do it with fucking Joakim Noah. I don't understand why, but they tried, and it obviously didn't work out. But they have to try to get somebody like that. That's why the Embiid thing, like, even though I don't know how he fit in that offense, like, it kind of made a little sense to me because I'm like, that gives you your size, a guy who can defend down there, like. But yeah,
it'll be weird though, because if Kawhi likes the mid-range game, and if Joel Embiid is like straight paint mid-range, and then you have an untrustworthy Paul George on the way. You have Mr. Ball Game over here.
Hey, Paul George will get them to the playoffs, and then they just got to figure it out from there.
Right. That'll be hilarious if they sit Paul George and they just use Joel Embiid and Kawhi for the finals or for the playoffs.
Facts.
But staying within the playoffs, shout out to the Heat, Miami Heat. What are we now? Like, we only lost like 2 games.
Both series are 2-1, right?
Yeah.
both
The playoffs
series
the Heat are 10-2.
Mm-hmm. I think we're 10-3.
We got to shout out the Heat because definitely nobody thought that they would make it this far, and they're doing it without a superstar. Man.
Not only that, bro, but
I think Asiel talks that he's been right ever since the beginning of the season. He knows the Heat.
Well, when I mean nobody, I mean like
people outside of us. Yeah, outside of us. But also, bro, like I think their young guys deserve a lot of fucking credit, man. Because like you just don't see. I mean, I think now you're starting to see like a couple of more young guys, but not really rookies like that are playing lit as fuck. It's literally them and Buddy from the Nuggets that's playing good. No. Not Michael Carter Williams. That's always where my fucking head goes. But
Michael Porter Jr.
Yes, Michael Porter Jr. But yeah, like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, fucking killing it out there, man. They deserve a lot of credit.
I want to give credit to Coach Spo.
Oh yes. Top 3 in the fucking league, bro.
Absolutely.
I don't want to
Top
hear
3 in the league.
100%.
Imagine if he had the roster that any of
any
these
of
other
these
teams
dog,
had, oh my god, it'd be a wrap.
That's true.
dog. At the fact that he hasn't won another Coach of the Year, dog, to me is a fucking shame. Like I thought he should have deserved votes that year where y'all started the year like with a horrible record and then went like
Yeah, we went
34 and
crazy.
10 like after the All-Star
Mhm.
break. It was some crazy ass record. Like I thought that year he deserved Coach of the Year votes. The fact that he still hasn't gotten that, like, yeah, that dude can coach,
100%.
man. That dude can coach.
I don't know when the people are watching this. We got a game tomorrow. Not sure how to feel about it. Manny's in a little different predicament because he's also 2-1 with the Lakers, but his 2 wins were at least like decisive. I mean, the last game they kind of let it slip away towards the end. They needed a big shot by AD, but the first game you dominated. The second game it was dominated for most of the game.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case with the Heat. The Heat were down, I think, by 15 in both those, well, in all 3 games now. And so I don't like the fact that we have to play from behind. Like Jimmy said, he said that he's tired of playing from behind. It gets old. So
I feel like
we'll
we're
see
getting
what
used
adjustments.
to that
Yeah,
narrative.
I don't want to
Like,
get used to that.
Yeah,
like
that's
we're
not
like,
good.
oh, we're down. We know the Heat. They'll be back up in the third quarter. Like,
I mean, I like it for the confidence because, like, oh, we've been here before. We know what we got to do. And even the game, we were down by a whole lot in that third game, and we were like, we brought it down to I think within 7. If Duncan would have hit that free throw, we had possession. We could have cut that game to 3 with like 50 seconds left. That would have been huge. But I don't know. I like the confidence that we have, but just I respect Boston as much as I hate Boston. I respect them, so I'm not gonna talk too soon. But hopefully we can pull out a W. I think we have what it takes, and I think our coach is smart enough to make the adjustments needed.
Yeah.
And if these
That's such a great series.
refs,
Both teams
stop
are so
BSing.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the refs have been whack.
both
in that
teams
series.
are definitely dogs, and I think that's what makes it, like, you know, a little bit. You don't want to jump the frog, but maybe it's because I'm a Heat fan definitely more than a Boston fan. But I feel like our players are they're younger, but they want it more. Like, we already got a game over Boston mentally where they had that whole situation in the locker room where they're yelling at each other, whatever. And with us, when it comes to, like, it seems like, you know, they turned that negative into a positive. Like Jimmy, he'll do the rah-rah speech if he needs to, you know, to uplift the team. And, like, I feel like he just take feedback and criticism and, you know, those negative things way better than a lot of the teams do. And they're a younger team, which is fucking really impressive.
Yeah.
And definitely talks to the Heat culture and like you said, the coach. So I don't know. I guess it's just like that feeling that I have towards the Heat, but it is going to be a crazy series because both teams play like
They're
really
fucking great,
rough.
man. Yeah.
I saw people. I don't know. I feel like Manny's gonna say the same. Go ahead, Manny.
Yeah. No, I was gonna start differently. I saw a meme that said like the Miami Heat are the dogs that the Clippers were pretending to be, and I was like,
That
fam.
was exactly what I was about to say.
Oh no, wait, for real?
I told
That's
you.
fucking lit.
I knew it was gonna.
That's fucking
But go ahead,
lit.
Manny. Go ahead.
All right, we're fucking lit. He gave me the alley. But yeah, I thought that was 100% facts, man. I'm like, bro, this is what a team of dogs looks like, bro. Like they're grimy, they're tough, like, you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna let you get any.
Oh yeah, Tyler Hero, man, keep shooting, dog. I know he was getting
That
like,
boy too nice.
he's definitely
Yeah.
diversifying his team. Like, not
Facts.
he's being more
Yeah.
versatile in his game.
Yes.
But just shoot the 3 when you need. Because he passed on a couple of threes last game. Obviously, you know, there's a better play. You know, make that call. But just let that shit go.
Bro, you know
Make
who's
it
been
a-
a really good piece for you guys that I didn't think would be? Jay Crowder.
No,
Crowder.
as soon as they say Jay Crowder, come, I say a bit.
Yeah.
Yellow
he-
shoes, Jose.
Jay
Oh,
Crowder
yeah,
has
the
been
yellow
fucking. Jay Crowder's been fucking lit for you guys.
Mr. Asparagus hair.
Yeah, that's just
I knew,
ugly.
I knew he was
never
gonna
get
be
used to
good, but that 3-point shooting from Jay,
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
that was
expecting
crazy.
him to be that wet.
He plays
from the
very well
three.
with the team.
Definitely
Yeah.
turning into like passing to Jay, and he's probably gonna make it in type of
Yeah.
3-point shooter.
Facts.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully, you know, for us because we're Heat fans. We
Yeah,
make it out of
hopefully
that
next time you
series.
see us, well, I don't know when the next time we're recording, but hopefully
It'd be
It's
Knicks
already-
versus Heat in the finals. Well, it's
Yeah.
impossible. Eastern Conference Finals.
hopefully by the time we record again, the next video will be in the finals.
Yeah.
Meeting up with Manny's Lakers.
The
Can't
Lakers
believe
and Heat.
I can't believe we're this close to Lakers Heat, dog. I can't believe it, bro.
Wild,
All the
wild
years we've
times.
been friends, this has never happened. And we both got lit at the same time.
Word.
That'll be lit. Whoever wins. Obviously, the hate for you guys would be a better just because you guys are friends and you guys are from Florida. But a Lakers Celtics classic rivalry.
Oh, I mean that would be that would be pretty cool too.
So I don't mind who wins, but hopefully it goes your way.
I'm not even gonna put that into the atmosphere.
And the fact that the last time that either team was in the finals was against each other, like that's fucking fire.
We're gonna switch gears. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know how deep we are in, but still a lot to talk about. Let's real quick talk about the Academy Awards, the Oscars. They have been on the news lately. They're changing their credentials for Best Picture. So, you didn't hear about this, Chris?
No, I didn't.
I got you.
I don't know. Oh God.
Oh, get ready. So the new rules are going to be implemented for 2024. So there's still some time. I don't know why. I guess because that's why. Because there's already been movies. Because there's already been movies in the making. So obviously, if these rules, they're too late. But I screenshotted the rules, so let me read them out. So basically, it says this was their first statement, designed to encourage equitable representation on and off screen in order to better reflect the diversity of the movie-going audience. So that was like the first statement. And the first rule is having one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors to be from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Second, having a main storyline theme to be about an underrepresented group. Third, diversifying the creatives, crew roles, and marketing teams on the film. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, basically if Best Picture 2024 has to be some type of diversification within either the storyline, the cast, or the crew that took to build that film.
Wait, so the main character has to be diverse? That's what you said?
It's either the main character or like a strong supporting character. So either the main
having one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors to be from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group.
So here's my thing, dog. I'm all for representation. I don't want to completely shit on this. I've been calling for more Latin superheroes my entire life, so I totally fucking get it. But if a movie's gonna win Best Picture, dog, it's just got to be the best movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to me, adding a more diverse cast, that's great for representation. Does it make for a better movie? It kind of depends on what the movie's about, yada yada. So I don't know, man. I like their motivations for doing this, but is this really what the Academy Award needed, or did they need different people in the judging areas? You know what I mean? Because I think that's the main the reason why you don't get as much representation in these award shows is probably because of that. But
can someone remind me who won in 2016?
Oh,
La La Land.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Moonlight.
Oh, you're fucking right. Fuck you, Moonlight.
You did it again, John.
Was Moonlight not diverse enough? Was Moonlight not about a kid that struggled with homosexuality pretty much his whole life and all that stuff, and pretty much what you explained are the rules now?
Yo, but
without any qualifications or without any restrictions, and that's exactly what they're looking for. Why the fuck are they trying to change the rules now? I agree 100% with Manny. If a movie is good enough to be best movie, no matter who the fuck is the actor or what it's about, it should be nominated for best movie. Stop putting these rules on it.
You don't even have to go that far back. Last year, wasn't it Parasite won? Even though I don't agree with that. Yeah. With the movie, I don't think it should have won. But
fam, it was literally a movie with a different race completely.
That's right. Parasite.
And a different language. Fam.
Well, now that you guys say that, do you think that that's why they're changing it? Because they're seeing the success of that type of film, and they're trying to
But that's so stupid. They didn't have to do that.
They're already winning. If those movies are already winning, why change the rules?
They're trying to appeal to all the markets and not get called out like they've been getting called out. But this is a horrible way to go about it because you're just changing the way we're gonna make movies now. You're forcing to have a diverse main cast, and you could have a diverse cast, but like to focus it on only has to be the main two win a best picture.
Like to pander to
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like,
Yeah,
well, we
yeah.
need
very
a white, we
forced.
need a black, we
We
need
need
a
a
Middle
black guy.
Eastern.
That's more racist,
Yeah.
bro.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? Now I'm making my movie like, no, not enough blacks. Like you can talk.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous, dog.
Yeah,
And
So-
to me, like I've been like I'm a big like so. For example, like let's say I'm trying to fill a role and like Tom Hardy pops in my head. He's like, bro, that's the perfect guy. And then I look at the cast and I'm like, nah, too many white people.
Too many
Okay,
white people.
call Tanjiro. Like you know, like I don't know, man. It just don't make a lot of sense to me.
I don't want to say the funny thing, but ironically, a lot of minorities are speaking out on like, fam, we want to be equal, which means we want to be treated equally. So if Buddy was another race, had a better audition than me, just give it to him because he had the better audition.
Exactly.
That's
dude.
how you treat us equally, like
Yeah.
by equal opportunity. Now I will say this, Manny, which you kind of touch on. Yeah, this is a way. I can see what they're trying to do is just the wrong approach in our opinion, but I think this is an assumption, it's a conspiracy that I feel like I'm seeing, and I did hear this across the internet. What if they're trying to do this shit so that they're trying to be like, oh yeah, tell them that the squad and the cast and the thing has to be diversified and they have to blah blah blah, but yet everybody at the top who's still calling the shots is all white people.
Yeah.
So what if this is their way to like pay to do that distraction of like, well, let's just give them this diversification
Bro, it's
down here,
getting-
but keep the
yeah.
board.
It's
still
getting
at a-
around the problem. It's getting around the problem. It's literally what it is. The problem is that you don't have enough diverse people up there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like it's I don't know, man.
Because you have like Kanye West, which will transition right after this topic, fighting to be at the board of Adidas and stuff like that. Like we need to be at the boards. We don't just want to make money for you. We need to get a piece of the pie, all the minorities. So that just seems to be like something that I've been hearing, like, that is coming off of like, yeah, let's distract them with these things that they'll like, but let's keep our frat house like us so that nobody like takes a like bats an eye on like what's going on up here type of situation. So
Yeah, I don't like what they're doing with that. Like I said, that's definitely they're just trying to appeal to the times and like not trying to get canceled as the Oscars and stuff like that. Because like there was a couple like.
But is that what they're doing, Doug? Because
No,
it's
yeah,
been
'cause-
years.
No, the thing is because
They've missed so many times.
I'm saying because they like almost every year that there's an Oscar, like, the exception of last year and the other year before, like they've been called out because the ones who have won like or who have been nominated for best male actor, best actress, or best movie they have all been white, and like there are hardly is different.
Yeah, but that's not a new thing. That's
I know
been
that's not a new
for
thing,
most of it.
but it's been most of it. But they've been called out because of that, and then you even have people speaking out about that, and that's why they did have to change some type of things. But them going out this route is gonna change the whole way people make movies now. Like it's definitely gonna be forced, and you're gonna see it. So I think that should be revised and should be looked at and talked more to try to see like how is a better way to do it.
Yeah, and I wonder why it only qualifies for best picture.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I mean,
that too, but-
everybody's striving to have a best picture, so it's not like people are like, all right, well, this movie's not going to be best picture, so we don't need to go by the diversification.
Yeah,
rule. Like, what
that's
the fuck?
another weird thing too, because like if a movie is really great and it doesn't have 100% diverse cast, that's not gonna automatically be on it because of their rules. So like I don't know, that's is weird.
And what's I'm trying to think, like, because okay, so they want diverse cast for these Oscar movies, but I feel like at least 75% of the time, most Oscar movies aren't like common people. Maybe us because we love talking about like films and stuff, but most people don't even care about the movies that are nominated for Oscars. So having a
Sure.
diverse cast, what is that really going to do?
And that
Sure.
and that too, like let's say if you put that rule for 2024, Parasite won last year. That's all one type of race. That's not a diverse cast.
That's a good point.
So like, how's that gonna even happen? I don't
No,
get it.
It's just Oscars year after year. They're always pressured to change something, and they finally cracked because usually the argument is that the women directors usually don't win at a best director or something like that. So they want rules to change. But I go back to the point that Manny made. Like, shouldn't it be equality? Shouldn't everything be equal? This point gets me hot, so I'm gonna try to calm down because I love because there were 2 women directors that were nominated last year for best movie, Greta Gerwig and another one that made what's the movie with Aquafina? She goes back to.
I've read the name.
Damn, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about. I love those movies. I absolutely love those movies. I thought those movies deserved to be Best Picture, in the Best Picture category. But out of all of the movies that dropped last year, we were fucking blessed last year with Best Picture movies.
Yeah,
it was not the best. I'm sorry, it was not the best. And every year they get upset that they don't win. Like, you have some fucking crazy competition you're going against. And people just always get mad and get offended. Like, listen, this guy worked his ass off to make one of the best pictures, and that's what he's here for. And if he won, don't get upset because he put in that work. And now they just want to keep changing these rules. The best pictures, the best movies should be in that category, regardless of whatever it is, who's in the cast. Dog, you're getting away from equality. You're getting away from it.
Okay, but let's not be this unfair to. We can't be arrogant to also not state that there's definitely fucked up shit going on in the Hollywood system, which means that women haven't gotten a lot of opportunities as well. So if you can't even get the opportunity, that you're not even going to allow that girl, that woman who can give a best picture to give a best picture because she ain't gonna get the job. So I guess you're not wrong in the whoever has the best picture should win, but it's a deeper rooted problem that starts from within the industry, and that's where it comes to like opportunity wise. Like, I think that's the problem. So the Oscar, damn, I don't know. Now that I think about
you definitely just made a great point that it's definitely it goes deeper than that. But it's usually after the Oscars and there's a woman nominated and she doesn't win, there's a bunch of women like feminists and all that stuff, and they just berate the Oscars for them not winning. But like, she was up against 7 of the other like best movies of the year. Like,
no, I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think of the process of the Oscar, right? So we're just bullshitting here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if women don't get roles like that, so now we have to make if minorities and women don't get the roles, okay, so now you have to diversify. It seems like a logical move, but it could still be attacked better. You know what I'm saying? Because diversifying a cast is great, but I guess in the creative process is where it conflicts with the person's intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like what if somebody has a great story about an all girl school and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to throw in a guy in there just because there's too many women in the film? Like, it's going to get confusing. It's going to be.
Oh, this is an impossible solution, and it's going to be very random, and it probably won't ever happen. What if we just made all directors anonymous? Until after.
That's what happened in the anonymous. A lot of writers back in the day were anonymous because they were colored and not getting, their scripts taken or whatever. But I was about to make a joke, like, low-key, Marvel movies are going to do great. All the Avengers movies are going to be lit because you got all the types of races in that.
We'll see how many get nominated.
Except Latinos.
Now the Avengers and the Marvel movies are going to be the only movies in the Best Picture category.
Nope, there's no Latinos.
Tenet is definitely going to be nominated then, because that shit had everyone. That had John David Washington, Robert Pattinson. It had people from India, people from Korea, a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Maybe Nolan was woke. Maybe he knew about the rules before.
But you see, when you say that,
he came back from the future, told his younger self to make a movie.
But you see, when you say that, then it doesn't sound like an impossible thing to accomplish.
It's not
so what makes it?
Of course not, because there are tons of talented actors and actresses. But it's just like, if you have someone in mind, when directors write movies, they usually have someone in mind, and so like it's gonna change their writing process, or it's
I
gonna change
also
the.
I also
Go
think
ahead.
it depends on the film because Tenet is such a big film that you're gonna have a crazy cast. But when you have like a film what can I who can I what's a film that it's only really involving just certain characters that are like without these two there's no movie. Um, that's what I'm trying to say is not every film. It's not noticeable in the Tenet because there's so many parts involved that it's natural to just have different looks of different type of people in the movie. But I guess when it's a more artsy film or where it's more like relationship based or you know what I'm saying, that's where I guess it gets a little bit more tough. I don't know though. This is a crazy situation
Well,
right now.
I guess
Inception is, I think, is pretty
Yeah, hell yeah, that shit's
But
dope.
those
standard,
are
right?
big storylines that consist of a lot of people. I'm trying to think of more like I don't want to say La La Land because it's like it's like Emma and Sebastian, like just two
I
people.
think
Everybody else doesn't matter.
it's probably worse when it's a big group. If it's like Inception and there's not more types of people, I think it was Inception. I think pretty sure everybody was white in that movie. If I
Inception.
recall
No,
correctly,
they had
yeah.
they had the guy from India. What the hell's his name? That helped them. I don't remember his name, but they had an Indian guy helping them. And isn't the first part isn't the guy like Chinese? I don't know what race he
Sato,
was. Yeah, in the beginning of the movie.
maybe. I don't know, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think of movies. I don't know why.
It's gonna be
I guess because we were talking about Nolan.
But another point is, I think that these directors and writers are pretty much woke and are about the times now too. That I think they were gonna start mixing that in anyways. I don't think that the Oscars needed to put these limitations and these rules on them. I think that they know what the times are. They know what should be in movies and like who they should start involving. Even if they didn't have them in mind, they would probably go the extra mile. I think that without the rules, they would have started to do this anyway, diverse their characters and stuff like that. But now they're pretty much forced to.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how. Well, again, this is 2024, and like I said, I'm assuming it's in the future because you can't stop what's already been in the process as of recent. But I do want to hear what people in the industry say, like the actors themselves, the directors, the screenwriters themselves. It's gonna be tough, man. A lot of as an artist myself, a lot of art comes from personal experiences because some people want to point out struggles in a certain community. Some people want to talk about those things. So it's like now a best picture can't be about a struggle of a certain race or a struggle of a certain, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it is going to be interesting to see.
What about the movie? What about the movies that have already been written and are projected to come out during those times and have actors and stuff like that? They got to go back and start thinking about recastings and.
Well, I guess, like I said, this is best picture, right? I mean, everybody wants to have the best picture, but we all know what an Oscar movie looks like, right?
Yeah.
So, like the Avengers are not really going for like a best picture, the DC.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is only talking to a specific part of the industry that drops from like November to like January something, like the people who drop Oscar movies within that time frame. Maybe they'll change it. Maybe there'll be a petition. Maybe they leave it. I guess we're gonna have to find out. There's gonna be 4 years till we see. But staying within industry insiders, moving from movies to music, our guy Kanye West is on a mission right now. Is it a selfish mission? Is it a everyone mission? That's up for debate, and it's only up for assumption because obviously we don't know what Kanye's intentions are. But we could talk about this really quick. Kanye West right now is fighting for artists' masters. So for those who don't know, there's only a couple of artists ever lived and who are in the current times that own their masters, such as Beyonce, Chris Brown, Jay-Z. Those are just like three off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a couple other more. But yeah, basically this is something that's going to sound weird if you guys don't know really about music, but unfortunately, my song isn't my song if I'm signed to a label. it's percentage of it is mine, but most of the percentage, if not all the percentage, is the labels. Why? Because they probably funded where and how I recorded it. They probably paid for the studio time. They probably paid for the producers and the writers to come and help me out. So they own the masters, which means they don't need to talk to me about when and where they're going to place my record. They can place it in a movie. They can place it in a commercial. They can place it on a Kids Now 53 if they want to. And
Kids
I
Now
basically, and I have no say on it if I don't own my masters. So Kanye West, literally one of the most important artists of all time, does not own his masters and has not a Legacy Act contract, which means is that the contract is not in his favor, which is most contracts. But when you're at a Kanye West level, that should not be the case. So yeah, you could blame most of it on him and his lawyer because obviously you know what you're signing. But saying here we go again, the industry's so dirty that lawyers could be in cahoots with other lawyers, could be in cahoots with other members of the labels and shit. So they might bypass and not tell you about a certain clause or about a certain fee that you didn't know about. So that's why we can't talk too much about the inners of the contract. But I wanted to say is that this fight is nearly impossible because you're literally talking about restructuring like a system that's been around longer than all of us have been here and is literally made for only a certain people to make the most money. And I don't want to compare it to like, it's not like, I'm not going to compare it, but an example is like the court system right now that in America, like it's literally meant for minorities to fail, like, and not to not have opportunities or to be oppressed. Like it's pretty similar in the music industry. Like you're literally signing your rights away. You're literally signing most of your life away, most of your money, and they just give you fame and kind of like hope that you're distracted by that. So I don't know how possible this fight will be, but I'll tell you right now, if Kanye fights enough to make any changes to this, Kanye West is officially, in my eyes, will be one of the most important humans to have lived on this earth if he manages to change something within this, because it's a problem that there's too much money involved to change. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's saying crazy shit online like, yo, I need Drake and J. Cole to like apologize to me so we can get in a room. We don't need all that. But if you get a Drake and a J. Cole and a Jay-Z and a Beyonce and a Chris Brown and you know, these legacy acts to go on strike, to not release music, to not do this, to basically have a union, then we could definitely see some of these changes. It just sucks that Drake and Kanye are definitely not in good terms. So we don't know if Drake will put that aside for a greater cause. But you definitely have artists like Hit Boy who has come out and said, yo, like, I don't really see eye to eye with Kanye West because he's tried me in the past, but I agree with him. My contract is trash. And you have a lot of people who are coming out and sharing their contracts and agreeing with him. So we are starting to see a revolution. We are starting to hear artists who are quiet now, you know, speaking on their experiences. So I'm really hoping as an artist that this shit does change. But I don't know if you guys have any thoughts just with everything I said, but this is a big moment right now in music.
I agree with you. If Kanye can potentially change anything within contract negotiations for the future or people owning their masters in the future, he definitely one of the most influential of all time, people of all time. But this is why you also said this. So I'm on the fence about it because, of course, I want these artists to own their masters. I want them to own their music, and I want them to do whatever they want with it. But this is like a Scottie Pippen situation from The Last Dance when they told Scottie Pippen that he signed how many years and he ended up being more great or better than he was, so his contract was shit, and like they wouldn't restructure it and they wouldn't pay him. This is pretty much the same thing. These artists get signed to shitty contracts because they need the money and they really don't have the options to do it, unfortunately. So if these like you said, dirty lawyers or whoever it is are finessing these clauses or saying you can't get the masters. Some of them might know that they're, or no, probably a bunch of them know that they're not getting the masters, but you sign anyway. So then it's just like, dog, like you signed it. It's in a contract. That contract will hold up in court. So it's tough to get that changed now. But for the upcoming artists that may have a chance to start restructuring their contract like that, they possibly can. But I don't think that the music industry is just gonna change off of a few artists maybe wanting a different contract or something like that, potentially. But like you said, this has been around longer than we have been alive. I'm sure this is not the first time this case has popped up. Just such a huge person like Kanye West talking about it is just like, it's crazy. But like when it's written in a contract and it's signed and it holds up in court, it's tough.
So what you're saying, Chris, I think what Kanye is attempting to do, or at least that's what we hope to happen, is to not even be put in that place to sign a contract like that. Mm-hmm. That's exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the reason why it could work now is because, let's not front, just like 3 or 4 years ago, record labels almost went extinct. As soon as Apple came out, as soon as Spotify made a shit, and like all these streaming platforms started to come out, the label started to be like, whoa, okay, what's going on? Because they weren't the only ones in control of music. So the times are different. Now is easier to gain an audience and live off of your own hype and live off your own audience and be supported by them financially, where you don't need to sign. So that's why I could see, if Kanye makes enough noise and gets enough artists as big as him behind him, there could be a change. Because as much as I hate Chance as a rapper, he was one of the people to go independent through Apple, but he owns his masters. So he's chilling. So he figured out how to get the bag that a label were to give him. It's just that the iTunes or Apple gave him a contract where they don't own his masters. They just did like a partnership. So the labels, I feel, do have to compromise to a certain level. But then again, it gets hard, because if let's say you go into a deal, Chris, and you have 2 million followers and you make decent money, yeah, you can negotiate something better than me, that I'm just a songwriter and I'm just upcoming, like with like 5,000 followers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to want to give me the same contract, obviously, that you'll get. But we hope that it gets to the point where we can at least have a 50-50 split in the masters. Or, because this is another thing, a contract could give you a 4 to 5 year deal or nothing at all. And that's where it gets fucked up, because you're like, dog, am I going to take this deal, but I'm basically their slave for 4 or 5 years? Or do I not take it, or do I just leave with nothing? So people sign it. So I would advise, and I would hope that it would be like almost like a fucking, like everything Kawhi signing now, fucking AD signing, like, yo, give me a 2-year deal, 3rd year opt out, and then possible negotiation on 3rd year if I decide to stay. Like, if these labels start to give out those type of contracts, then you have a better system in place for the creative and the corporate levels to actually meet in the middle to some extent.
That's gonna be a deal breaker for upcoming artists and shit like that that may be inspired by what Kanye's saying, and they tell their lawyers, tell them I want to own my masters, I want to own my music. They'll be like, listen, we don't really need you. Right. Like we're gonna own the masters. Like, you can go somewhere else. They're gonna tell you the exact same thing. Either sign this deal right now, because either you need the money or you don't. But
but like I just said, though, if there's enough chance to rappers, then the labels are gonna have to compromise eventually, because then they're losing out on big talent. Yeah, and now you're just now enslaving a bunch of talented kids with like 5,000 followers, and now you're not even gonna get ROI, return on investment, into that signing.
Yeah.
So if enough people with leverage start avoiding contracts, and the big artists start to form a union or not re-sign, then it is possible.
Yeah, it's possible. But it's also gonna get a lot of new rappers or new people just asking for that masters, and they're gonna get denied. But hopefully sometime soon that they'll budge and they'll be able to get that.
That's why I am thankful that there are other means of making it, that doesn't involve a record label. But I do feel you, like, just owning a masters is nuts. To me, that shit is crazy because everything I fucking record right here is mine. So I'm trying to imagine like somebody like me recording my shit.
Yeah, let's do that scenario where you're an artist, you create your own music, you sing. I'm the owner of a record label. I'm here to sign you for 4 years. We give you this amount of money. We're keeping your masters. I'm putting you in that situation right now. What are you doing?
How many years?
Well, what is, you know better than me? What is the average years for a contract in the music business?
It's usually 4 to 5 years, or like a 5-album deal.
Okay, 5-album deal. I own the masters to all 5 of those albums, but I'm giving you this amount of money, which is a great amount of money, and you'll make money off streams and percentages, but you'll never own your masters. You're getting that deal right now. What would you do?
If you're talking to me, John Lewis, so not like just
John Lewis,
hypothetical.
No.
Okay. So because I have other powers than just a performer and I can write, I have the advantage of one. This is what I'm telling my lawyer. We're doing a 3-year deal with a 3rd-year opt-out. If we do stay after the 3rd year and you want to keep my masters, I need to at least own 70% of the publishing. And as a writer, I need to own between 50 to 70% of my publishing. So I'm going to find other ways to make most money if you're going to keep my masters. You know what I'm saying? So like, and because thankfully writers are now more exposed and have more exposure and they're not as frowned upon as they were before. Being a fucking songwriter with hits, you making some more money than a lot of the biggest artists. So that's why I asked you, you're talking to me, John Lewis, because I've been working equally as a songwriter, as an artist. So I can leverage my songwriting. Like, let's tell the audience. A couple of years ago, I was supposed to get signed to Universal Universal Music Group with a joint venture deal with Republic Records. The dude that wanted to sign me wanted me for 5 years. I said, no, sir, we're not doing 5 years. However, I was going to get a record label. I was going to get a record deal, and I was going to get a music songwriting deal, 2 separate deals. So in my case, also because of my hard work, I could manage to at least have one of these go my way than both not go a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely encourage anybody who's in the entertainment industry, especially music, to be versatile, because they can't take advantage of you 360 unless you let them. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your own leverage. If you're not coming in with the audience, like, at least be a songwriter to where you can get most of that publishing if they're going to fuck you over in the masters. And if they're going to fuck you in the masters, try to make it as short term as you can. And I didn't sign that deal, dog, which means I took that L, but I'll take that L. I still believe in my talent that much that I'm willing to bypass a contract, because if I did it, I would have been on my 2nd or 3rd year right now on a record label and probably be shelved because they don't have the same vision as me. You know what I'm saying? So I am thankful for the times that we're in. It definitely allows us to come with a different type of leverage than somebody back in the day. But yeah, let's not front though. Like, if you're broke and you're an artist and you're great, nobody blames you for, being in signing a contract, but just be aware of what you're fucking signing. That's really the best way to put it.
Agreed.
And just to like throw something out there, Michael Jackson had a talk with one of the Beatles, Paul McCartney. They were having a talks about masters, and Paul McCartney was basically telling Michael Jackson, like, yo, one day, like, I wish to own our masters. And he was putting him on game of like the leverage of the benefits of what it would take to own a masters in general.
Plot twist.
So then here comes Michael Jackson in 1985. He buys the Beatles
master
catalog for $41 million,
That's fucking
which is
crazy.
nothing. 41.
Mhm.
A Kanye West master right now, if I had to guess, could go from 400 million to, if not a bill, almost 800 million. A Kanye West catalog. So imagine the Beatles for 41 million. That's nothing to Michael
That
Jackson.
was back in the day. That was money to them. I was
That's
like,
true.
oh shit, we're cashing out. But
So in 2016, obviously, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. The label sold it to the back to the label. Some of the state sold it back to the label for $750 million in 2016. So Michael bought it for 41 mil, and the state
talk about
bought
a
it for
fucking
750.
flip, dog. Jesus Christ.
And they were probably underpaying that because 750 for Beatles is probably underpaying for their catalog. And then you have a scenario like Scooter Braun, Justin Bieber's manager. He owns Taylor Swift's masters. Smart on his end, but now apparently Taylor Swift re-recorded. Apparently Taylor was trying to buy her masters. So I think she, I don't know if she did or she's going to re-record all her music so that she can own all her masters.
What?
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know she was gonna re-record all her
She
music.
said that like a year or two ago, dog. So that's why I said I don't know if she did already because she low-key might have already done it. But to re-record music, well, that's tough. Like I don't know the ins and outs of that process because you still don't know what's legal and not legal.
I don't understand why Scooter Braun is getting so much shit for that. The man had the opportunity to buy a Taylor Swift masters catalog and he bought it, and people are upset that he owns it. Like Taylor Swift literally cries for every single thing.
So people are upset because they saw a face to the buyer. When a label buys it, there's not a face to it, so you can't really get mad at somebody. So I think people are just not used to knowing the person who can actually afford to buy it. So I think that's what happened with that.
Nah, that man's a genius.
But then you have Kanye on Twitter talking about I must see it to myself to make sure that Scooter gives Taylor back her masters. This is gonna be interesting, though. This is gonna be interesting to see how this pans out. To see what's real, what's not real, to see what's possible, what's impossible, to see what's selfish and non-selfish. Because we know Kanye is all over the place. Like 1 week he could be on this shit, and then the next week he's on some other shit. So I guess we'll see how that pans out. Speaking of Kanye, upward Scooter Braun, downward Justin Bieber just came out with a record. It's called Holy. It's featuring Chance the Rapper. I actually like the record. Not a bad record. I guess it's considered gospel.
You said it's Justin Bieber?
Yeah, Justin Bieber featuring Chance.
Okay.
And shout out to Olga. She notified me that John Bellion has producer and writing credits on the fucking record.
Oh, well, now I gotta hear it.
Yeah. So, and then once she said that, I definitely saw it. I was like, that sounds like a John Bellion production and lyrics. Obviously, there's other people involved, but yeah, there's a video to it. It's like a 5-minute video.
Bigger news, guys. There is a Chance the Rapper song that John likes. Let's remember this day.
It's a Justin Bieber song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Justin Bieber song.
The loophole.
I could definitely skip Chance's part. It's not that, again, it's not that he's bad. I just don't care for his style. And same thing on this record. It's not like he ruins the record for me. I'm just cool without the feature. Now, you would have thrown you put a John Bellion on the record, we would have been lit. He gets that record, he gets that exposure, and then he's still on the record, whether it be rapping or singing, he would have been killing that shit.
Facts.
Still not big enough, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing, dog. I like the level of fame that John Bellion has because, and he talks about this all the time, he doesn't care about being the biggest. He just cares about walking in a room and getting those head nods from legends. Like, I know who if Quincy Jones, I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he does it for. So I don't blame him, dog.
You gotta respect that.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, check it out. It's called Holy. It's a good record. I don't know if this is gonna turn into a gospel album. I don't know if we'll see a Kanye and Justin Bieber gospel mashup.
I feel like everything Chance releases is labeled under gospel, but it never really. It doesn't always sound like gospel. Like Chance 3 or Coloring Book. That was technically a gospel album. Well, it did have a lot of gospel tones and like choirs. Let me stop talking. It's gospel.
Yeah, I don't know what are all the credentials for a gospel record, but I guess if it's within the subject line, then
it's because Justin's on his religious stuff. You know, he's always been on that, and
yeah,
definitely has something to do with it.
If you're talking about
check
God,
it out.
so
Be careful how you gonna transition this.
He said talking about God.
Speaking about God.
What was that?
If you talk about God.
I thought you had a transition covered, but talking about God, Jeff Bezos.
No, keep talking. That is God.
No, I'm not. He's not God. It's a joke. But transition, Jeff Bezos apparently is trying to open a preschool. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
A preschool.
A change out of his back pocket can drop, and he can start 80 preschools.
Just
80,000.
Just one preschool,
80, bro,
or like a chain of preschools.
Let me read off the post. Jeff Bezos found Jeff Bezos.
I love Jeff Bezos. Now let's talk about Jeff Bezos.
Or 18.
My name Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon, announced this morning that the first Bezos Academy, sounds like a fucking X-Men class. Bezos Academy, a free preschool. Okay, here we go. A free preschool for children coming from low-income families will launch in October. Damn, so this shit is like around the corner. The preschool will have a year-round curriculum, 5 days a week for children 3 to 5 years old. According to the Bezos Day One website, the team selected to put preschools in Des Moines, a town. What the hell is that? Des Moines.
That's in DR.
No.
NSC, wow, ya tú sabes el campo.
Des Moines.
Este tipo Jeff Bezos que está poniendo
en Santiago.
Oh my God. The team selected to put their preschool, a town in south of Seattle based on the income levels, rates of participation of free and reduced cost meal programs. Yeah, so I don't know.
I love it.
This is definitely great. It's just like how many of these is he going to do? I guess I don't know if you'll see the success of this because this is going to be successful no matter how you go about it. But people are skeptical. People are skeptical. They're like, really, you're getting into this?
Yeah, I see this definitely as like, it's a
tax break.
It's a chess move that he's doing because, a couple of months ago, I don't know if you guys heard or saw, but like all the top billionaires of the world got called out. So Facebook was there, Mark Zuckerberg, him, Jeff Bezos, the guy from Apple. And they basically got called out because they're a monopoly and they're like too powerful. So like the government was trying to get at them because of that. So I think this is his way of I guess giving back and looking good or something like that. It has to be because
regardless if it's for good press or if it's for just to make him look good. This is amazing.
No, yeah,
this is amazing because the schools, and he said this is for low income people. So these preschools will probably be located.
This is only preschool, right? It's not above that.
That's for now.
It'll probably start off as preschool and go from there. But these preschools will probably be put in low income areas like the hood and wherever you're at. This guy will make the neighborhoods surrounding the preschool look great. He won't.
We'll see.
That's called gentrified.
This is maybe a step towards gentrification,
which we was already doing with Amazon warehouses in your city.
Okay, but say in Miami, in the most dangerous part of Miami, he puts a preschool, and around those preschools, he buys 3 buildings and puts businesses, and buys another buildings on a couple blocks away from there. If he can start making those urban areas that do have low income people and they struggle a lot and they could potentially make it nicer like that, I'll take that anywhere. Like a
exactly
Detroit or a Chicago or something like that.
Making it nicer means you raise rent and the people who are living there.
Other people start moving in.
Right.
And that's when the people that are already there start getting pushed out.
It's true,
It'll
but
be interesting.
wouldn't you rather have nicer areas and more businesses open where there's people that
That's the thing. Like we just said, you start doing that. If you could do that and keep the people that live there part of the community, then yeah. But that almost never happens.
probably would do that. He probably would
it's not really up to
make
him.
those.
He can't control what other people are doing. If other people see this community like this and they want to start moving in, people are gonna stop dropping money around the area and just start taking over everything, and then push everybody out.
Oh yeah, I definitely see other businesses like looking at this and be like, maybe we should, put something there as well. And then
I think this is the start of
something
new.
of
could be so hard to be here with you.
This is the start of the billionaires starting to clean up the urban areas that it's taking them too long to do it.
You're saying clean up. It's the verbiage here, Chris.
Yeah.
What
Kick out, clean up. It's two different things.
But look, listen, take them both ways. It's their way of
yeah.
What?
So is there already not a homeless problem? We're going to create more homeless.
I don't understand what you mean.
If he does what you're saying, then most of the people in those areas are going to become homeless because they can't afford to live there. So now,
when I say nicer, also, I mean the buildings that are there or houses that are there could be in terrible shape. Maybe he'll just clean those up. He'll pay to get those cleaned up or get them refurbished, so the areas around the preschool look nicer. It doesn't look like it's in such a bad area. And through there, maybe low income, low payments like rent, nicer buildings and stuff like that. Make it more. He's just gonna clean up the area, meaning like he's gonna make it look nice for the preschool. It's not just gonna be a nice ass preschool and then to the right is a homeless shelter. You know what I mean?
Well, that's called gentrification.
Yes.
Yeah, which leads to homeless people. So if what you're trying to say is, or I hope you're trying to say is, if he makes it affordable for the people who are already there, and then okay, we're on the same page. It does here have a quote that says the classroom is just the beginning. So you might be definitely right in the path of he does have other plans, maybe around. I can also see this as Amazon. So I can also see them developing technology for education. I could see that as being a rollout as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I'm excited to see what happens.
It's definitely not a bad. It's a great act. It's just how he plays it after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Is like I said, it's hopefully it doesn't lead to gentrification, but hopefully it just leads to more opportunities for the people who already live in these places.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, speaking on Jeff on Amazon.
On Jeff,
Man,
You guys on the first name basis?
My name Jeff. Yeah. He supposedly is interested in buying because supposedly JCPenney is going out of business. They filed for bankruptcy, and I think Sears already did that like a couple years ago. So he's planning to buy out JCPenney and Sears locations like in the malls and making that an Amazon warehouse. So basically, if like our mall in Pembroke Lakes has a JCPenney, let's say it does close down and Amazon does buy it, they're gonna just section off that specific area and close it off to make it an Amazon warehouse. That way, there's gonna be an Amazon warehouse next to a popular city. So that means Amazon packages will get delivered the same exact day. And
so that means Chris is right
job.
that we're gonna get gentrified.
Yeah.
This man's gonna take over the world.
Gentrification is coming whether you like it or not. I'm sorry. It is.
So basically, his plan is to have your package
delivered.
Yo, where is this man Chris, bro?
Yeah, his plan is to have your package delivered 30 minutes or less. So once you order a package, you're gonna get that in 30 minutes because there's a mall a mile away, and if it has JCPenney, the warehouse is gonna be in there, so it'll just drive up to your house. So that's
it'd be weird if they're just warehouses. Like I don't know if a mall would agree to have.
Yeah,
maybe
because the thing is,
like half mall, not half mall, like half Amazon store, half storage, maybe.
That's
They'll probably dress it up.
I'm curious how much that. I think not that like obviously, you know, the amount of money it would cost isn't really a huge deal to him. But I feel like there's easier options out there because like if you work, like if you own a location at a mall, or if you're a business in a mall, like you not only have to pay rent to the mall, but there's like a certain amount of money you have to bring in. So if like that spot isn't really like a customer based thing, that means that money's probably coming out of his own pocket. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like,
Well, Manny, I don't know if you were aware, but the last 2 years, it's been a big deal where Jeff Bezos is going to open up an Amazon warehouse or corporate because
It brings
people
money
it brings money.
to
So
the,
yeah,
to the
if
city.
he's not finding like huge spots, I think it is genius to go within like infiltrate them all
yeah,
because you're closer to the people. Now you are correct in the sense of how do you bring in money to that specific location, but I think they'll just split percentages to where it doesn't have to really be something that they're selling within the mall. I think it's just, I think obviously they're going to make more business by being there. So I think it's just whatever percentage they're making off of the
but that's
business.
what I'm saying though. Like, how are they gonna bring more business to the mall if it's just a warehouse? Because like, unless there's if
Unless
something where
you
like,
turn it
yeah,
half Amazon store,
yeah,
half
like if it's a
store.
store,
That's what
yeah,
I
like
was
that's different.
thinking, but that's
No,
not
but
the
they're-
Oh
plan.
yeah, I think it's just gonna be shipping,
Yeah, they
or
just
maybe you could pick up, maybe you
they
could pick
just-
up
they
something.
just
Yeah, like I
wanted
was thinking that
to-
too, Chris.
They just want to be closer to more cities because like we do have a big Amazon facility, but it's in Miami. That's the closest one, but they're trying to be like in every major malls and stuff like that.
And also, let's not get it twisted. We don't work for these places, so they're definitely not going to be dumb enough to open up in locations where they're not primarily shipping from. You know what I'm saying? Like they're definitely like if I'm an artist and I'm when I pick my tour dates, I'm definitely going to be toward the places that I know my music is getting more streamed at. You know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm assuming they have statistic and analytics that prove like, all right, because I think
Yeah, I
Jose
don't
was
doubt
just
that.
using Pembroke Lakes as an example. You weren't
Yeah.
really, yeah, you weren't meaning that they're really going to come to Pembroke Lakes Mall.
Yeah,
But yeah, wherever they decide to open, I'm definitely sure that they're like, okay, we definitely get business in this area, so we might
Yeah.
as well just open up a
My
warehouse there.
where my curiosity comes in is just like I get that part of it, but I'm just like, how are they gonna make the money make sense? You know what I mean? So is it gonna be something where like maybe like that is so good for Amazon that it can make up the difference of like having to rent out to a mall and you know what I mean? Like
Well,
I don't think
two
I don't
things.
think they're worried about the rent or the cost because obviously they're not expecting the store to make like money or anything. It's just literally to hold their shipments
Exactly. Yeah.
and for them to just ship it out. They'll have those payments because obviously Amazon Prime and Amazon is pretty much like the biggest sales website or whatever. Now they can use all the space they need all the space they can get.
mhm.
It's just more storage.
Yeah,
They're gonna make
yeah.
those payments easy.
So
I get that part of it. My whole thing is like again because you're like if you're gonna rent out a space in a mall, like there's just a certain amount of money you got to be bringing in.
no. There's a certain amount of money you have to pay them all. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're bringing in. It's just you just
Yeah.
got to pay them all. That's so. Don't.
And I'm
I think
sure
you have to
they
break
got
the
that.
retail. What we know about retail when it
Yeah.
applies to this. I was gonna say two things. If they're willing to open up more places, then they're definitely like Chris is saying have the money to do it. So they definitely have the money to risk that
100%.
being a problem. But also, we know, like I know a lot of people who are trying. We talked about Scamma song. We talked about Scamma song. Like I know a lot of people who are trying to do their own Amazon Prime within their neighborhoods. So they're not if people are doing how is that however that's functioning is exactly how the location is going to function because if they can afford to have my dad get a Amazon Prime bus and go around Pembroke Pines delivering packages, however he's going to get that money is exactly how a location opening up in Pembroke Lakes will get it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so you got to think about it not as there you go. You got to think about it not as the customer walking in traffic wise. You just got to think about a percentage of the business coming from that area.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to look at that. Yeah, Amazon is not going to be. I think if they have a store section, it's probably going to be the smallest shit in the world. is just a front to make it look like it's actually a flagship store. But I think it's just a whole like hella shit
Okay.
to distribute.
If they're paying the rent that the mall is asking for at that spot, they're not going to tell you to sell a certain product or anything. They just want their money.
And having Amazon open up in your your location will bring in more business.
I would just say
100%.
aesthetically, just make it look like you have something there. Because that's just an ugly look. Imagine just like what would you even have there? Just like a bunch of nothing.
Amazon keychains.
And
You mean if they open up?
there's a USPS in Sawgrass, but it's small as shit.
So I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's obviously big enough for you to just go do your package and just ship it out. But maybe
pickup will be a big thing, I think, for those flagship stores.
I think that would make it make sense. Like if it had like the pickup spot or whatever that
Instead
you
of
can
getting
just go
a
and, like,
ship,
get a package.
you go pick it up at the mall.
Because I'm like, otherwise, like, how is that bringing in people? Yeah.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out, if you do that, then do you eliminate the Amazon Prime buses around your neighborhood?
I don't think they'll go that route to pick up because their thing is delivery.
All right, well, and
they do that already.
And Whole Foods is already a place where you can go pick up your Amazon packages. So do they cut off their other business partners?
But they already have like I think like 5 minutes away from my crib, there's like a little like warehouse type of thing where you can just go pick up your Amazon package. It's completely owned by Amazon. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, I think Amazon just has so many packages that like, honestly they don't really need to cut off those other places. Like,
and we're also talking about outsiders. We have no idea what they're really gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe
we're assuming.
Yeah, we're
definitely assuming. Maybe the preschools are in the warehouse. Like, we're just talking the preschool.
They're gonna buy out Sears and build a preschool in Sears.
Maybe the kids are gonna be the workers.
This kid's schoolwork is gonna be.
What if they buy out all the retailers and they just ship it from there? They just put all their stuff on Amazon and they ship their products from there.
That'll take years to like.
All of you guys will be fired. All you guys will be.
I don't think I'd ever pick up I mean, the only way would be if it's there faster. Like, you could pick it up like one day instead of getting it shipped 2 days. But if it's gonna take the same time, then.
I don't think
I got no reason to leave if they could just send it to my house.
I don't think their mission to buy out those places is for you to pick it up because the whole point of that is to be at your house the same day you order it. Like literally.
But Jose, when you say that confuses me because it's not up to Amazon. It's the package has to get to Amazon and then Amazon delivers it. So if I order something that takes more than a day to get,
I know, but there's certain items that you could get it in the same day. So that's why they are putting those. They want to put those in that location so they could hold those certain stuff and get delivered the same day.
I guess what Manny could be talking about, then they're probably gonna have to be selling or stock up those items in that location for them to be delivered on that day.
Yeah, because literally that's what the article said. Like you're gonna get your package in 30 minutes. That was the whole plan.
That would be fucking crazy.
That's a fucking lie. Because when somebody orders from my store, I do that shit at the end of my shift.
And not only that, like where's it coming from? You know what I mean?
Like also, I don't know if you heard, but Amazon they've been testing out for a couple of years. They're trying to do drone shipments. So basically, a drone flies over your house. You have to have like a backyard or something, and then you put like this certain mat, and they land on the mat. Drop it and just leave.
Do it. Go ahead. I don't give a shit.
They've been tested out for like 4 years already.
Chris, they dropping off your PS5.
Bring me my package.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Bring me my package by pigeon. I don't give a fuck.
But they dropped your fucking PS5 from like 10 feet there.
That's definitely a possibility. And then the increase of somebody robbing that shit is just as high.
But tell y'all right now,
the drone drops the Xbox. It looks down and then. It just flies.
That's why I said like it's for people who have backyards and stuff like that, and you get people.
Boy, the backyard and the shit dropping has nothing to do with my backyard.
What do you mean?
That has to do with the malfunction of the drone.
You said if shit gets stolen.
Dog, that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, people jump over gates and all that shit. What do you mean?
If I saw a PS4 in some guy's backyard,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry, bro. It was me. It was me.
there's
That shit is gone.
a whole video about it. Like that drone is only gonna get delivered as you're there, and you had to
I've
put
seen it done.
you had to
I've
put
seen
the
it
mat for the drone could fall.
The
On
drone's
it.
gonna have to come with a bodyguard. And a fucking...
Imagine if you're late and the drone's just in the air with the Xbox, just waiting for you to go.
We could drop from there.
I'm down. Whatever, just bring my package. Human
But
drone.
I forgot to tell you this. Speaking of like preschool and just school in general, I just found out yesterday. This was weird as hell. DR right now is waiting for elections to be over sometime in November to decide whether they're gonna do schooling between physically being there or through radio and TV stations.
That's lit.
Fam,
Only
what?
DR. Only DR.
Right? And then my mom goes, "Oh yeah, a lot of our cousins graduated like that." I'm like, "What? What the hell? That's crazy, dog."
I mean, I'm not totally opposed to that idea. I feel like most of my learning came from the television, anyways.
Well, I say this is not going to be just turn on the TV and then you do your research. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a full blown teacher like teaching regular
I'm
school.
not mad at that.
No, I'm not saying I'm mad at that. I'm saying that that's crazy because we're privileged. We lived in a time where we could go to school and learn like that, but our fucking parents and their childhood, a lot of them graduated literally listening to the radio and learning like while listening to the radio. That's crazy.
I never know about that, but I would assume
I
why
could have done that.
they're doing the TV and radio thing is because a lot of people don't have internet, like a lot over there, so they're relying on TVs and stuff like that.
I would probably rather do it because if you see the schools that are in DR, he would gladly take that radio and
teach your ass. Why didn't you do your homework? Oh, my power went out.
But that's But that's the thing I said. Like,
that's gonna be the issue.
Are you saying you would have rather do it like that because of all the shit you would have got away with, or because you think you would have learned more?
No, I think I would have learned the same. It's just a social part of it. I don't care too much about the social part of school. I might also learn more. But
being there, you are kind of forced to be there because you are there. If I'm even right now when kids are going to school in Zoom and shit, like you know how many ways you can get away with it. So are people going to really learn? Are people going to really be by the radio station if your parents aren't supervising you? I guess those are all things that I'm like also thinking about. Like how much can you really sit there and give that time to like truly learn?
Well, that's definitely
just walk away.
That's definitely because of the time and they're trying to do what they can with this virus over there.
No, yeah, but we're just talking like overall.
It's cool. I haven't heard of that. It's a cool way to do like school.
I don't know if it's a cool way, but I definitely think it's a great improvised solution. Because how else would you do it? That's fucking nuts.
Between classes, they play merengue and
Okay, 2 + 2 4, pero ahora un mensaje de nuestro partner Scamazon.
Donde tu paquete nunca
Y for breakfast tenemos un mango con un ching de salami. Oh my god.
The principal is fucking Romeo Santos.
Oh my god. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because when I heard it yesterday, I was like, damn, yeah, I really learned like that. And I guess ironically, right now our kids are learning through Zoom, so it's like a similar situation, different scenario. All right, guys, so we're finally coming to the end of the podcast. We know it's been a long one, but just last subject, switching back to music, a little gossipy, but I just think it's funny, so I have to bring it up. Not funny of what's happening, but funny outside of that scenario. Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce.
That's not funny.
So obviously a divorce is not funny, so that's not what's funny. What I think is funny is that Cardi got these girls out here fucked up. So a lot of I'm just like tired of seeing all these girls like, oh fuck you, man, you're fuck, like all this Cardi energy, blah blah. But let's not pretend like the marriage was all cute and it was a lot of cheating involved and there's a lot of those type of situations. And let's not front, when you're a millionaire, yeah, there's a lot of shit that you can let shit slide. When you have millions to fall back on, you can cry on a money pillow. But now Cardi has had enough, and I support it. I just think like a lot of girls out here just need to revalue their mental space with like how you treat a dude. If the dude obviously is treating you the right way, because there is a lot of fuckboys out here. Let's not front. But yeah, man, I just think a lot of people were just like goals for Offset and like Cardi and the way Cardi acts to a lot of
Anybody
dudes.
that had that goal, I don't want to meet that person.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. And probably more than you think that you're even assuming so. But look, man, I bring it up just because again, like the mental of like how do I could break this down so many ways. Just a lot of I feel like a lot of this goes for both the guys and girls, but just whoever you're with, dog, treat that person right. If you're being mistreated, get out of the relationship, whether it be verbally, physically, mentally, get out of it. So I definitely support the divorce, especially apparently this man's having another kid with another girl. Like, fam,
Yeah.
the first 3 times wasn't enough. Like, why did you keep doing it?
I
Like,
thought they were divorced.
Nah.
no, this is happening like this last couple 2 weeks.
I thought they'd been divorced. I didn't know that.
Nah.
But yeah, they've been
like,
together this whole
together.
time.
Still together. But
So yeah,
now was the final straw because he got another girl pregnant, and this is the third one.
crazy, dog.
This man
Jesus
has
Christ.
like 96 kids.
Right. Well, he's definitely behind Future because Future got 99. This man got
Future
even
has
more
a lot
kids.
of kids.
The whole Amazon preschool is gonna be featured.
Yeah, man. I just think it's funny all these girls out here with the Cardi B energy, but man, really like living that shit. And if you are living that shit, look what could happen. Like you could still be caught in a stupid place, in a stupid situation. And obviously, I'm just a guy, and only guys are here, so I guess there's not a woman here to defend their case. But I don't think there's much to defend here. If you're in a bad situation, get out of it.
Nah, she's good on that she did finally get out of that. But I heard
It's just the goals thing that bothers me, though. It's like goals, but y'all forget how much fucked up shit was going on and was being. Obviously, is none of our place to say what somebody else can put up with, but just don't bring that energy to your relationship if your relationship is not calling for that energy, because every relationship is different.
I guess she was just trying to sell the lifestyle and stuff like that. But I heard other things too, like on his part, that when she made that WAP video, like double standard, he didn't like it at all. Like, and he felt ashamed. That
Really?
yeah.
Because in the behind the scenes, he's in that video. He's in there. All right.
I don't know. Something came out saying like he didn't like the video what it represented, and he just.
I'm not believing this man when he's cheating on a woman multiple times.
That's why.
And whopping everybody else's whop out here.
That's why it's messed up. And
canceled again.
And his videos do the same shit, but
yeah, he talks about bitches and hoes and all that shit. No.
Yeah, weapon everybody's weapon.
And Tyree's words, those are not your lines, fam. Like you don't get to say that shit.
I kind of wanted to touch on The Social Dilemma, if anyone saw it.
I did see it. Okay, yeah, Social Dilemma. Definitely think it's a must watch on Netflix. It basically is a documentary / movie. And it has CEOs and engineers and scientists and psychologists from all the apps and companies that we're familiar with. Like you said, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, IG. And it basically tells us like how that these apps are addictive for a reason, not because we're like not that we didn't notice or something, but that we are getting manipulated. How do you say being manipulated to stay on these apps for as long as we do. So I think I'll stay within that realm. So I guess most of you guys watch it, But I definitely think is a interesting watch, because if you have the people on screen who created these softwares, who created these algorithms, talking about the negatives that comes with this science and this technology, then I think we're into some shit that can be is already dangerous and could be even more dangerous in the upcoming future. Chris, what you got to
I
say about it?
agree. So I also saw it, like you said before. I mean, it was the way they did it was really cool. Like it was a documentary and it was kind of like a movie. I really like that style. They did it very well.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't really tell me anything that I didn't know already. Like we all know that these apps are addicting, and they do their best to try to get production because they're businesses. They want to drive customers, and they do everything that they can to get customers. What this movie didn't make me delete all my apps or anything, or be like, you know what, I'm done with Twitter, I'm done with Instagram, because I think we're old enough that we know what's reasonable and what's not. But what that documentary did for me was like, I don't think my kids will have social media like at a young age, because shit like that pops up all the time. Like, and seeing those percentages that they would put for like suicides for young teens
Right.
and shit like that, and how it's up like almost like 80% or something like that.
And up like 150%
Yeah,
from between like 8 to like
2000, like a
14.
decade. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when I say we're old enough, is because like we know what's reasonable. We know how I feel like we all know how to control it and use it responsibly. But for the younger crowd that get sentimental, or like they get body shamed and they really do feel like pain like that shit is fucking cancerous.
Because I was gonna say we grew up with it, but we didn't. Gen Z is
Yeah.
growing up with it, but we started to play with it when we already kind of developed our personalities for the most part. So that's why I think it's easier for our age group and up. And don't get it twisted, we're all addicted to it to a certain extent. So it's not
Oh,
like
it's
we're not
100%.
addicted because we're like older, but as far as like letting things bother you or letting things get to your mental health, like yeah, like definitely affecting the younger crowd because they're growing up with society standards being front running. Like, and with us, it was like we grew up in middle school and shit, like cracking on each other, and like it would just be the circle. Now you're getting cracked on by somebody in another fucking country that doesn't even
Yeah.
know you, and then if people want to tag along, now you're being criticized by the world, and you know who could prepare you for that? So yeah, man, it's crazy.
And there was that one part, I don't know if you remember, where the little girl, she was on the app and she took a selfie of herself and she put like 1,000 filters on it and shit like that. And people were commenting like, "Oh, how pretty, how pretty." And then there was one person that was like, "Oh, well, you look ugly," or whatever. Like I've seen pictures like that. Like Joe Rogan did did a segment of a podcast where his daughter actually had an app like that, and it took a selfie of Joe Rogan and turned him into like a woman, like a complete woman with just an app. Like that shit seems so cancerous, and like just putting yourself out there looking like fake and shit like that it's not good for your mental health, especially if you're a kid and not fully developed and know what you can control. And it's very eye-opening. I recommend that you guys see it. It's not
But
gonna
yeah,
it's not gonna tell you anything that you don't already expect. Hearing everything that we expected was kind of crazy too. Like they're like, yeah, we're making this addictive. We do that. We send these notes to make sure that you're still on the app, and we get that ad revenue from whatever.
right.
Like
Yeah,
that,
so
hearing
like you're
that shit was
saying,
crazy.
exactly, like the hearing the ins and outs going on behind the scenes of the intention is what was surprising, because
Yeah.
I mean we fucking see ads on our timeline every 2 seconds. So seeing how those ads get there, there is one more thing I want to touch on, but I guess when most of us see it, we'll talk on it. But yeah, man, just go watch it. It's called Social Dilemma on Netflix. Everybody's been on it for the last month or so, or a couple of weeks. Um, like he was saying, like it might not tell you something you didn't already know, but it definitely makes you second guess or subconsciously think about it a little bit more, which I think helps you mentally. So even if you were already addicted to it, or even if you think you knew how to control it, this will definitely help you stay within a healthier path of how to use it. And this is good. It's good content, and it's important because it's what's literally more important than social media right now. We're literally talking on a social media platform after in between. right now, after this and before this, you were on a social media platform. So like that shit is literally our lives.
We're
right
gonna
now.
post. We're gonna post an ad
Right.
for this podcast on a social media platform. Everything is social media. Everything.
So definitely a must watch. Check it out, guys. But yeah, man, Social Dilemma. We're gonna end it right here in this social dilemma between the crew, Planet of Doubt, episode 18. We are legal. We are here. We're unstoppable, and it's now 3 a.m. But that has nothing to do with you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Might as well right now subscribe, like the video. Tell us about what you thought about all the topics that were brought up about school, Kanye, Masters, movies, Amazon, Song. Like there's a lot, there's a lot of ways, a lot of things, a lot of topics. Let us know in the comments what your opinions are and what you want to bring aware to any of the conversations that we have. Don't forget to tell a friend and tell a friend. Peace.